Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
This is the next search on February 28, 2020, 7:44 p.m. How does the FBI find people? The people is misspelled P-E-O-O-P-L-E. Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
I object.
Oh, man. It's the violent sounding audio clips in the intro. The guy playing with the puppy?
When are we going to break for lunch?
You talking about the pet video? I swear that video is from that's from Petco, I think, or Pet Supply World.
I'm not a camel.
Pet Mart? Yeah, it's a video of a guy playing with the puppy, I think, and another guy's like, "Hey, why is the dog chewing on this guy?" Isn't that what it is? No, am I wrong? Chats aren't on screen. They are now. First one in chat, by the way. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. I'm the guy. Music loud. I'm quiet. Everything's broken. I'll fix it. Let's see. Carolina 5-0, first in chat. Congratulations. Is this a first offense for you, or did you win yesterday? Something tells me you won yesterday. If so, this is a repeat offense for you, and congratulations or condolences. First in chat is sentenced with internet ownership and has to fix everything IP-related worldwide, and that's you. Carolina 5-0, congratulations. Thanks also for keeping a close eye on that Woods case for us in North Carolina. Can't wait for that to move forward and for us to find out all about it. Let's see. Jailers in Starkville. Is there another manhunt? Is there another manhunt?
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
When are we going to break for lunch? It seems like an appropriate question to ask about right now. It is. Oh my goodness, we've got so many things to do before we break for lunch that we cannot begin to handle them all. But let's see. We'll get some of them done. Some of them right.
I'm not a camel.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day! Welcome to Wednesday. Wow, that was about a 3. A 3 out of 10. Or I'd give it even a 3 out of 7. Not the best hump day start, but we're here. We made it halfway through the work week, and we're here together. We made it. Happy hump day.
Is that correct?
It was a little quavery. It was quavery before I went for the manual quavery mode. So that was like to cover up the previous quavers. Not sure if that sold it or not, but we're good. All right. We have a couple things to talk about. First of all, last night, I know I bailed on you guys a little bit early, and the verdict came in. Some people missed the verdict because of that. I apologize. Apparently, he got like 20 and 25 years. Char in Discord has a birthday today, or is it Shar or Char? I think it's Shar. Like a SH sound, but it's CH with a spelling. Anybody else who has a birthday today, now's the time to chime in, by the way, so we don't miss you for the celebration first thing this morning. And my condolences for those who have to hear us sing after we do the hump day yell. Treat it like a warm-up. That's what we can do. Somebody poked their head in, then closed the door. Oh, and they're back. Someone's just playing with my door. That's what they are. Might be a ghost. All right, 2 life sentences with 25 mandatory minimum. Basically, that's how it ended up. Shark Snack Gulf Coast. We're just going to go with sharks. We're going to go with snark, apparently. Shark Snack. That's a tough one to fit in the birthday song. but we'll put Shark Snack in there. Anybody else? Mercedes, woo woo! Somebody's excited. Mercedes, put you on the birthday list. I'm in top chat. That's the problem. Live. Let's switch to live. How was dinner? Dinner was fabulous. Thank you for asking. Got to go out with my wife and just had a nice evening with a few friends. Unfortunately, we were all dressed up, so it was like stuffy and proper. And I wasn't sure if I should take my suit coat off or not, but I will tell you, I did not spill on anything. My tie is still clean. It was good. Whitney said the court will be streamed Friday regarding Maya. Can we watch? If it's streamed only on Zoom, then no. But we'll have to check and see. Maybe we can get him to file a motion for us and give us access. That's not going to happen. Ellie Veldman, congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you, I should say. And congratulations to 5 people who were just gifted memberships by Ellie Veldman. Thank you very much for your generosity this morning, kicking it off in style. Looks like those went to Steph Sells Stuff by the Seashore, Talia SC, Julie F, Bama Girl 1955, and Queen Swope. Awesome. Congratulations to y'all. Let's see. I've been waiting all year. Started following you in March. Mercedes, you are excited. You're excited. Did the pickle tie go over? It was featured prominently in a photo session at the very end of the evening because we went to a country club, a golf country club. That's where they hosted the dinner and everything. And they had out in the foyer, they had somehow arranged to have Santa Claus leave his sleigh there. So his sleigh was there. No, Santa Claus was not in the sleigh. He had just parked it there. I don't know if he rode one of the reindeer back or what, but he brought it, dropped it off, took the reindeer, left with them. So the sleigh was there. So we did a quick little photo session. So I climbed into the sleigh, looking quite jolly, I might say. And I think in one of the shots you can see both my pickle socks and my pickle tie at the same time. And I'm pretending like the sleigh is about to take off, but there's no reindeer, so it wouldn't. So I wasn't really worried about it going anywhere. But yes, I'll see if I might be able to scrounge up that picture from my phone at some point and share it, if it's not too humiliating. So yes, dinner was great, by the way. It said it's only on Zoom. Okay, so I'll have to hold the phone to my ear and tell you everything that happens. Maybe we could do a watch party on that. No, that would still be violating. Okay, Donna Adams has a birthday today. We'll add Donna to the birthday list. We've got Shark Snack and Mercedes. Donna Adams. Yes, we're gonna try to cover what happens on Friday. I think that'll be wonderful. Let's see. How to not hire a Santa actor. Seriously, I'm sure we saved some money on just getting the sleigh. Pixar didn't happen, says Greeners. The problem is if I put a pic up, it ends up on Twitter or TikTok or something, and then it lives forever. Let's see. Can we please? I double pickled. I did the tie and the matching socks. And I was the only one. Well, I won't say I was the only one in a less than conservative tie, because there were people wearing some Christmas ties that were somewhat festive and had Santa Claus on it. So I didn't feel bad. These ones had Pickles with the sunglasses that says "Deal with it" on it. But nobody looked at my tie and said, "Ha, I get it." They looked at it and then they looked away. I'm I'm not sure. Are they seeing something I'm not in the tie? I don't know. But we did the pickle tie and socks. Festive, very festive. It's green, like Christmas green. He says the public can zoom in. Yes, they can. We're all going to be on Zoom. We're going to crash the server, apparently. How about a live reenactment? You don't ask much, do you? Virginia Little just gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Virginia. If we do a watch party, the way it will have to be, to be legal, no one on any platform, unless the judges change the rules for this, no one on any platform will be allowed to restream what they see on Zoom. So we couldn't take it and share it on Discord. We can't share it on YouTube, can't share it on Facebook. But if we all connect to that and also connect to another a screen where we can talk, we can sort of have two going. But you'll need a device that can handle two concurrent connections. One on Zoom and one on YouTube. I know a lot of iOS devices can do that, but TVs have a hard time splitting the screen that way with apps because you need one on Zoom. It will be a Zoom connection and one on YouTube for us. So it's going to be a little tricky, but we'll figure it out. Oh, it's Finland's. Let's add Finland to the birthday list, Anna, because when you're 106, how do you not get sung to? Finland. There we go. Did I miss anyone else? We've got, let me go over the list one more time before we sing. Shar, Shark Snack, Mercedes, Donna Adams, and Finland. They probably saw squares and circles on your tie. I showed that to my kids yesterday, and they didn't believe me. But then once they got it, I let them show Mrs. R.A., and she's like, at first she's like, I don't get the joke. But then we saw them. It was good. So we have until the 15th to find multiple screens to view on. Yes. I have a few extra TVs because I just bought 2 extra mini TVs. They're 24-inch TVs for when I'm switching multi-camera events away from my studio because they were on sale. They were like $60 each, and that's the cheapest I've ever seen them. So we got them. How would one go watching it on Zoom? Ayden, we'll share the link with it once we have a good link for the Zoom feed. And basically, you will connect to it just like you would any other Zoom. But this is a Zoom webinar. For you, on the connector side, if you've ever participated in any Zoom, the process of connecting is identical. You connect, you say what your name is. That's what it lists you in on the participant side. And then you join. Because it's a webinar, you will not be on screen, and your audio will not be playing. The only way you'll get that playing is if the clerk clicks on you and says, make them a presenter or something like that. So that won't happen, but you're going to be able to just watch, and it's like you're participating in Zoom, but you're not on the screen, and they can't see you. So we'll get that information out. Melissa says, thanks for my new obsession with your channel. My husband's going to buy me a small TV to go in my office. That is awesome. Melissa, your husband is a wise man. That was a wise man. Let's see. We're still waiting on court to start with. They're having trouble seating a jury, honestly, in the Hannah Payne trial. More trouble than they thought they would, but they're hopefully be able to get there here today and get opening statements. Runts Rants on the Soapbox says, Recovery Addict Dr. Joe gave you a great shout out last night, and Greg Anderson will be on with him this Friday afternoon. That is wonderful. Dr. Joe's amazing. We've talked a little bit on air and off air. He's been asking a few questions about YouTube as he gets started on the channel. We're helping in little ways that we can. Really, he's a natural at it, so I think he's going to do great. I missed what case we're talking about. We're talking about like 4 different cases right now. KD 214. Last night there was a little trial in the Panhandle of Florida. Judge Clark, is that his name? We just picked it up as a 1-day trial, murder trial. He got sentenced, and it was 2 consecutive 20-something to life sentences, and he basically got, I think, the max penalty on those. That's a little case. We haven't. I don't even know the guy's name. It's we just stumbled across it mid-trial. The other case we're talking about, we talked about the Woods trial that's happening in North Carolina. This is a strange one that Carolina 5-0 is keeping an eye on us for, or an eye on it for us, and that is the case where a mom, a dad, and a son were walking along a road here in North Carolina, and a corrections officer driving home from work was driving along that same road and struck and killed the son. He pulled over after accidentally hitting him, and the dad shot the driver. The mom and the dad stole the truck and drove away, leaving both of them dead on the road. And so we're going to follow that one. That's the Woods trial. That's a little bit, it's crazy. We also have the trial that we're trying to start right now, the one that this live stream has in the headline. That is the Hannah Payne trial. Hannah Payne is also a traffic accident trial that had a citizen's arrest, someone fleeing, like a hit and run, someone fleeing from the accident, a bystander taking it into their own hands to chase them down, stop them, make a citizen's arrest, firearms involved, a gunshot was fired, and then boom. Whoa, Michelle NC. Michelle. Whoa. Nobody should be in gray. 50 memberships. Michelle. Thank you so much. Look at this. Holy cow. That is incredible. I'm just looking at this. The screen is just filling up with people who just received memberships, courtesy of Michelle's generous gift. Isabella Jones, Olivia, Groovy Jill, Susie, Kathy, Kevin, Maddie M, Jay Staley, Tracy, Charlene O'Donnell, Leanne W, Amanda Norris, Lindsay Hendricks. We're going to sing happy birthday in a minute. We're going to name a few people here. Abby's on there. Patches, Donna Grace, Nate V, Hippie Girl, Beth, Jill Hoyler, Chloe Colvin, Alice Elliott, Magic Unicorn. Oh my goodness. There's going to be so many memberships messages here in just a second. David Alexander, Divine Creations by Melanie, Rita Wilson, Jen was gifted a membership. Congratulations. Christy, Princess Lukey, Jordy Como, I think it's Como. Renee Marie, Heather Mosher, Azazen. I don't know how to say your name. Asazen. Zen is how it ends. We'll just call you Zen for now until I get a pronunciation guide. Katie Lee, Jennifer Conley, the girl with the animals. Wonderful. Emotional support paintbrush is here. Wonderful. Give Up is here. Mrs. Williams. I think it's interesting that emotional support paintbrush and Give Up were right next to each other. Don't read anything into that. I'm not sure how to pronounce this one. It says Shites and Giggles. De Novo, Victor Mann, Haley, Elizabeth McPherson, Mary Beth Robinson, Aaron Hack, Gunny. Oh my goodness, so many names. Lori Loves Montana is here. M169, Christy McRae, Marjorie Carthu. If you don't have your gift setting turned on, make sure you turn it on. And you can do that by clicking this link and moving the slider to the right on your screen. Also, Happy Hippie, member for 1 month. Thank you so much. Look at that blue courthouse by your name. Thank you so much. And wow, Michelle, thank you for your huge, generous gift to get so many people in green. The membership gifts, who they go to, are random, but that is super generous. You just knocked 50 people off the gray list and onto green. So if chat goes fast now, it's not my fault. It's Michelle's. So, Clipson's Vixen. Amber's back, says, I miss you all, Bunches. No place I'd rather be. Thank you, Bunches. Michelle in NC. And Pickles and Zoe the Cat says, thank you for all you do with the super chat as well. Thank you, Pickles and Zoe the Cat and Dog. We have to sing birthday songs here. I haven't seen any additional names. Let's see. There's a live chase on Cal 9. We'll hold off on that for just a minute because we have to sing birthdays. I see the live chase there. It's tempting, but we have to sing first. Is there anyone other than Shark Snack, Mercedes, Donna Adams, and Finland? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm not seeing it. Okay, we've had plenty of time to warm up and relax our voices. Now it's time for everyone to sing together. Here we go. La 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 la. All in one song. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Shark Snack, Mercedes, Donna Adams in Finland. Happy birthday to you. Shark Snack, you tripped me up on that one. And I think it was intentional. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. So happy birthday, Shark Snack, Mercedes, Donna Adams, and Finland. All of Finland. Happy birthday. Anyone else who is celebrating their birthday today, except for Finland, gets free pancakes. Because I don't know how you could give free pancakes to a non-entity. I mean, who is the real person? The true man? What is the natural man? What would Daryl Brooks call Finland? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, for those that are celebrating their birthday, happy birthday. It is a wonderful day to celebrate your birthday because it is today. And for those that are celebrating, thank you for being here with us. I realize there are a million places you could be and get free pancakes for being there. But no, you're here with us, and that is not lost on me. So if we can do anything to make your day a little bit better, like sing for you, poorly in some situations, let us know. Thank you very much. Ooh, Santa is from Finland, says Anna. Just a reminder, before you talk smack about Finland, that's where Santa's from. All right. Finland goes to IHOP. There you go. What does Finland eat for breakfast? This isn't like a dad joke or anything. What is the breakfast food? Is it like the crepes? Is it like I know in there's a crumb cake, they call it krumkake in Norwegian, that I think is a breakfast food as well. Maybe I just ate it for breakfast and it's actually dessert. Okay, we're hearing that the jury was selected late last night, that they were able to get everyone together, 12 with only 2 alternates. Must be a short case. Wow. Let me do a quick check again and see if we've got some more updates. There we go. Hannah Payne. Jury selection continued late into the night in the case against Hannah Payne. A jury of 12 with 2 alternates will decide if the woman... So it says it continued, but I'm not sure if they actually have achieved it. Selection set to resume this morning. They're not done. They still can't find the 14 people they need to move forward. Can we play the verdict music since we did not get to play it yesterday? Ladies and gentlemen, we had a verdict yesterday in the case of the defendant who had no defense, whose lawyer would say not a word, nary a word of praise, nor alibi, nor alternate opinion, exited the lawyer's mouth throughout the entire trial. No words of cross, no questioning, no witnesses, no opening and no closing statements were ever produced by that lawyer. I think the only thing he did was not object to a couple things that the state wanted to do, and then he sat in stunned silence as his client was pronounced guilty on all charges, the maximum charges, no lesser included in this one, and received a penalty of I believe at least 55 years in prison, served consecutively. So that was the verdict music for yesterday, and the case was just as weird as I just described it. The defense lawyer, it was as if he was sitting mute, being his own representative, but he had a lawyer who sat mute for him. I don't know how much he paid that lawyer, but whatever it was too much, I think, in my book. All right, there's the verdict music for you. Phone's going nuts. What's happening here? It's let me see who it is. It's on the... Hang on. Oh, they hung up. Never mind. They hung up. Let's see. Got a quick message from Joe this morning, or actually late last night. It says, thanks for bringing your audience over to my launch party. I hope I can keep them as engaged as you do. I'm so nervous and excited. Dr. Joe did a great job from what I hear. I haven't got to listen to all of it yet. I'm looking forward to catching up on that because I had the dinner that just went exactly the same time as his live. But I appreciate you guys. Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back. Let's see who this is.
Call from
Steve.
Steve, this is Recovery Addict. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing just great. What's on your mind?
So on that case yesterday, It was so bizarre because, hang on, all I'm getting is
you're getting loop feedback. Sorry.
So all they did was nothing during the case. Afterwards, during sentencing, everybody got up and spoke.
His family spoke?
Let me call back.
You're good. Okay, Steve's going to try it again. He's got like a weird, like never-ending ringing sound in his ear, which would be terrible. I can't do it. Pickles and Zoe the cat gifted a membership. Thank you very much. I'm curious to know specifically if he went willingly with the bailiffs, because he seemed to be not very inclined to go with them. Hello?
Call from
Steve, we've got you, and it's still ringing, but that's okay. All right.
Yep. Great. No, yeah, so it's not ringing anymore on my end. So everybody got up and spoke. His mom got up and said, my other son was murdered. Where was the justice there during this? Now you're going to send my other son to prison. Well, that wasn't the judge's fault. Right. And then the sister got up and Grandma got up, and I was really expecting Grandma to say her piece that she didn't get to say on the stand.
Grandma? Yeah, she had a lot to talk about, but never.
She did, asked. But she didn't say a whole lot. But they all said their piece, and then he got up and proclaimed his innocence and tried to say that he didn't do it and prove he didn't do it. And then his lawyer got up and said the same thing.
The lawyer
why didn't
finally
they
makes
do
a
this during
statement.
the trial?
Finally makes a statement after the sentence.
Right. Yeah. And then the judge passed sentence on 2 life sentences consecutive. And it took him a minute. And he's like, so when can I be out? And he's like, this is life sentences. It took him a minute. He's like, this is life? Yes. These are life sentences.
Wow.
Oh, I thought he was going to have a heart attack there, but it was bizarre.
That is crazy. I'm glad we caught what we did. That particular court, they have the habit of deleting all evidence as soon as it occurs, and you have to catch it when it goes down. So we missed the first day. I don't know what happened. I wish we could, find somebody that had that to see what happened, because it was just as crazy as the ending. I'm betting from open to shut, this case just had weird written all over it.
Yeah, and the girl that got up and stormed out was the sister, so I wasn't sure what she was going to say when she got up there. But
did you see her hit that door?
It was just
she
weird.
just about took it off the hinges when she hit that thing. It was.
Oh yeah, it was one of the mom or aunt or somebody got up there, thanked the prosecutor for doing his job, thanked the defense attorney for doing his job, so to speak, and then turned around and said, "As for you, Your Honor," I'm like, "Oh no,
you're going to blame the judge on this one?"
Yes,
I would look more to the defense attorney, a little closer.
Right? Yeah, it was so crazy. I was hoping somebody recorded it, but
oh man, that's crazy.
Great. Yeah, too bad you missed it.
Well, I think I think here's what's going to happen. I think he does have a solid case for an appeal for ineffective counsel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that lawyer might have a solid case for being reprimanded professionally.
Absolutely.
But Steve, thanks for the synopsis.
You're welcome.
So it's out for dinner. Appreciate the call, and thanks for calling back with the little problems there. So appreciate you. Thank you.
Right.
We'll see you.
See you.
Bye. That's awesome. That was he needed a way better attorney. Maybe he was like, maybe he made a deal with his attorneys like, bruh, I'll pay you $1 now, and then $4,999 once I get off. And that's the deal. And the lawyer's like, I'll take your $1, but you're only going to get $1 worth out of me until you pay me the other $4,999. Maybe that's the deal that went down. I want to listen to that call. She also reminded the judge that he had better think about things because he will be judged one day. Oh, this is on him. This is on Catherine. We're talking about a little case we watched yesterday while we were waiting. We found it on accident while we were waiting for this trial to start with Hannah Payne, which is still struggling to seat a jury, even right now. And I imagine it will probably be 2 hours before they begin at the minimum. He wanted to go pro se, but the judge talked him into having assisted counsel similar to Farag. Okay, so if that was assisted counsel, I think the judge was doing it wrong, because the judge should be addressing the defendant, and the defendant, if needs, can turn to the assisted counsel. That's just weird. A weird way of doing it. Assisted counsel usually doesn't ride first chair. They sit back seat. He pays in bands, though. It would be 5 bands. You get the rubber band before trial, and then what was in the rubber bands after trial. Did anyone tape the rest of the trial from yesterday? Let's see. Mom kept saying his lawyer did nothing. Judges have to approve dumping an attorney. He begged the judge for another attorney before the case got that far. One of the chat members suggested it was a failed hit job, and he took the fall in order to not be taken out himself. It seems like there are more players in the works here. I mean, this isn't just 2 cogs that happened to meet in the night, like 2 ships in the night, and this went down. I think there's a backstory for sure. Kim R. uploaded a few clips on Facebook. All right, so check out on Facebook. Thank you, Kim, for catching those. That's awesome. Chase is getting wilder. Okay, let's jump over there. Let's take a quick look. You said Cal 9? Let's see. Is it live? I'm not seeing a pursuit. Is it on YouTube? Who's got the live? The guy that survived, I'm sure, needs to be on high alert every day from now to finish the hit. Oh my goodness! Did you hear during the trial, the phone call that was made? It's like, look, I'll talk to you after. Just bail me out, and then we'll meet up, and I'll set everything straight. I'll make it all right. I'll finish the job. No, he didn't say finish the job, but that's what I heard. The lawyer was court appointed. I feel bad. During the victim statements, they said they didn't have the money. I believe him when he said he didn't do it, and the guy has robbed people, and someone got back at him. I don't know. Jamie, here's what I feel. It's running the circles that he was in. I think the implications that come with ratting on someone are huge, and you don't do that lightly. So I think the guy that spoke out against him, I believed him. I believed him, and I believe he knows who shot him. KCal9. I'm looking at KCal9, and it's not showing live. Are you guys... KCal News, Los Angeles. Don't want that. Live. KCal9 is not live. At least not on YouTube. KCal News. Am I finding the wrong one? Is it LA? All right, we'll figure it out. Family said they were laughed at in court every day. I didn't see any laughing when we watched it, but bribing a victim, or that was a huge no-no in my book. That's when it looked really, really bad. What's the holdup with the trial, Chris? The holdup right now with the Hannah Payne trial is that they can't seat a jury. They need 12 jurors and 2 alternates who can be impartial. And apparently this case has a lot of people who know about it or might be connected in some way to somebody who's connected with the case. And so we're going through, they sent out requests to 600 jurors to get them there. And they've been going through 15 at a time trying to seat the jury. Let's see if we've got any updates for us just now. Nope, it's gonna continue this morning. That's it. Judge Clark is a manly man, I suspect perfectly capable and comfortable defending his decisions and even veiled threats. He is comfortable as a judge. He's comfortable making decisions. Very much. Good morning, Jules. Welcome. Good to have you here. What state was the trial in? It was in Florida, the one we're talking about from yesterday. It was in the panhandle of Florida. Judge Clark, 14th Judicial District, I think. Who's on trial today? PNW, by the way, welcome, by the way. Good to have you here. PNW Transparency was in the case that we followed out of Washington with it was a First Amendment it was a First Amendment event that turned into an assault trial, and he won. He won, and I don't think the judge was very happy about that. The judge seemed a bit curt to me at the end of that, but vindication. Congratulations. So we're trying to follow this case. It's a traffic accident. You're welcome. Good to have you here. It's a traffic accident that was observed by Hannah Payne, right? It's Georgia versus Hannah Payne. Hannah Payne was a 21-year-old girl who watched this traffic accident, and it's a truck that struck in some way a semi-trailer. Both of them pulled over, I think, for about 20 minutes, waiting for the authorities. But while they're pulled over, some observations were made of the truck driver, the smaller truck, not the semi-truck, that he may be intoxicated. And then he drove away. Hannah decides to follow, and she pursues him, calls 911, lets them know that she's following them. They tell her, stop, go back to the accident, wait there. She doesn't. She continues pursuing and ends up cutting him off to stop him, and then gets out and confronts the driver. She is armed, and in part of this, the altercation, the confrontation became physical, and at some point the firearm was produced, and at some point the firearm was discharged. Mr. Herring, the driver of the truck, passed away after from the injuries resulting from that discharged firearm. And now she's Hannah Payne is being tried for murder in this citizen's arrest, traffic accident turned deadly situation. So, and it's out of Georgia. Okay. I've got to find why am I not getting... Okay, we had the guy that reversed the other day. I'm not seeing a live police chase. Erica, I think they start about right now, so we've got a little bit of time. So we can do some court hopping. We can do some other things while we're waiting. But I really think today we are going to have opening statements. I just don't know when today, if it's going to be in the morning or afternoon. It's an interesting case. Very interesting. It was the most eloquent description of a murder case I've ever heard, says Instinctively Correct. Thank you. I tried to phrase it as neutrally as possible, especially early on in the trial, because I haven't made my mind up yet. There's some things that concern me that I have some questions about in my head already, but I like to come into a trial a lot like the jury does and be impartial and look at this and say, you tell me the facts that are important to consider, and then let me make my own decision. Eyedrop sentencing is getting bizarre. That is very bizarre, Sherry. You've got a 34-page letter written to a friend, denial of everything, trying to change attorneys, or attorneys trying to get off the case during sentencing. It's really, really weird. We might have to go back and watch that whole trial. Yes, Annie Marie, Michelle NC, a huge, generous gift this morning. Just amazing. Melissa says, I haven't watched anything on the Hannah case, so I could be impartial. It's wonderful. I know this. I think locally it had a lot of airtime. This was a big deal locally, but it didn't really get out nationally like some of the other stories have. Possibly because of the other stories that were going on at the same time. Now, this happened also back in 2019, and it's been delayed because of the courtroom restrictions, due to the pandemic and everything else. Mom of 3 says, I guess I wouldn't make a very good detective. I just noticed you shaved. I'll blame my lack of observation on my broken leg. Anyway, looking good. Mama of 3, I'm sorry you broke your leg. That sounds terrible. Hopefully your leg will heal before my goatee grows back. Can you use your super zooming powers to ask Judge Carroll for special permission to let the entire internet view the December 15th hearing, since we were mentioned in the motion? December 15th. Let me see if there's something we can do that way. First of all, I think this case has enough high-profile interest that it's going to be televised, and there'll be multiple outlets that will be able to provide that for and provide commentary and analysis and everything with using fair use. So I think that'll still be an option. I'm an oblivious juror on the Hannah case as well. Where are all you people down in Georgia? Where are all you oblivious people down in Georgia? I could see voting either way on the Hannah case. Just because I don't think she should have been there doesn't mean she wasn't unjustified to do what she did in that moment. Culperistic. I've shared before that there was a time in my life that because of some involvement in a drug case that I was involved in as an informant, that I was encouraged strongly to carry a firearm. And as a matter of fact, I had a letter written addressed to authorize the disbursement agency, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, to bypass the waiting period, or bypass the backlog, to put my request for a concealed carry permit at the front of the line because of imminent danger. So I'm familiar with carrying a concealed firearm. I'm familiar with the laws in many states regarding that, and the training that goes into that. And one of the things that they drill into you is sort of what we've heard in several different trials. You own every bullet that comes out of that gun, right? You can't take things back. There's no redo, and a lot of times you might stumble on a scene, and by your perspective, you think you know what's going on, but you don't have the whole picture. And so they caution you to don't become a vigilante. Don't think you can just insert yourself because you have firepower to be able to wrong every right you perceive in the world, because a lot of times what you think is wrong is actually a right, and you're looking on the wrong side. You can step in, and there is no immunity for you. It's not like a police officer where they're trying to do the job right and they step in and they have immunity that covers themselves in the performance of their duties, as long as they were doing what was right, following the law. People don't have that. Just the regular citizens do not have that immunity. So did you hear what's happening in the case of the drunk lady that hit the couple with the golf cart on their wedding day and the bride was killed? No. Jules, where was that? Is that one moving forward? Hang on. Jules, before we go any further, what would that case be titled? Drunk golf cart bride. Which keywords would you put in your thumbnail? I'm just thinking this through. Wedding day golf cart murder? And I'm curious, the drunk lady, was she like a spurned lover? Was this intentional? Was this completely accidental? Wow. Folly Beach wedding accident. Oh, it was an accident. How did you not know about that trial? Apparently, I don't read the wedding magazines or the news about weddings enough. Why have I not heard about this? Everyone else knows about Folly Beach. Okay, Folly Beach, South Carolina, my neck of the woods. We're doing a quick Google search right now. I'm going to become edumacated. Okay. Is it Foley or Folly Beach? Folly Beach wedding crash. Oh my goodness. There's all sorts of pictures. Groom and mother of the bride. So it was the mother of the bride killed, and there's a video. See if I can find the story on this one. There's a settlement reached with the husband of the bride killed in the Folly Beach wedding crash. This happened in April. Folly Beach police say Jamie Komorowski rear-ended a golf cart carrying the 4 occupants.
Is that correct?
So the people in the golf cart were injured. I was thinking it was the drunk lady was in a golf cart, which would make it a little harder to be fatal. But so if they reached a settlement, is there still a trial? I guess she's still on trial. Man. Golf cart kills bride on wedding day. That page is trying to do weird things on my computer. Okay. We have some Board of Parole stuff we can watch while we're waiting. Just 1 second here. Do you guys want to do some Board of Parole pardon stuff while we wait for the jury to be seated? Or is there any other trial we want to check out? There's more to it. This story is crazy. Don't need that one anymore. That trail's gone. Person County. We'll get back to Person County. That's the Woods trial. Chad Woods. Oh, we need to do a quick search this morning in Thurston County, though. I forgot to do that one. See if Mr. Frog is in custody. Not yet. Still not in custody. I don't think they have any desire to really catch him. Okay, someone's calling in. Let's see who this is.
Call from
Lynn in South Carolina.
Hello, Lynn in South Carolina. How are you doing?
Hello, Scott. How are you?
I'm doing great. Is this your neck of the woods with this wedding story?
This is about an hour away from me.
What? Why? First of all, why did I not hear about this? This was in April, right?
Right. It's a small beach. I don't have all the details of what's happening currently, but what happened was the bride and groom were taking the golf cart, I guess, after the wedding from the beach to a house. And this girl had been bar hopping all day long, or at least all afternoon long. And she was going 65 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone.
Ooh.
And crashed into them, killing the bride. And the husband was injured and in the hospital for at least several days. I'm not sure how long, but it was a tragic story.
Wow. So what? There's I saw a settlement, but that's on the civil side, right? What's happening on the criminal
I would
side?
think so. There are also some phone calls from the girl in prison to her dad, and she seems to be like Jay Hatch, like she doesn't get it. She's saying, "Why did this have to happen to me?" And it's not what you did. What, in my opinion, you did what. I mean, you caused it. You were drinking all day long.
Yeah.
So, but
that is bizarre. That is just crazy.
It's really sad.
Is it moving forward to trial soon? Are we looking at?
That I'm not sure of. I'll have to do some research. Michael, I see where you say you want to hear me say "kiss my grits." Okay. I know I'm Southerners. The day is long, and my mom is even more Southern.
You have to say it nice and clearly without laughing.
Okay, kiss my grits.
There you go, Michael. You got your wish, Lynn. That is awesome. Wow, I'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Okay, I wish I knew more, but I'll do some digging into that.
Yeah.
If it does go to trial, I would love to go to the trial.
Yeah. Let me know. We'll do what we can. See if we can cover that one. So, thank you very much, Lynn. Have yourself a great day. Thanks for calling.
All right.
We'll see you.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. If the trial doesn't start by April, they're going to let her out on bail. Oh, we've got Jules on the phone. Hang on 1 second.
Call from
Jules.
Jules, my friend, how are you doing this morning?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I am doing just fabulous.
So, listen, about the South Carolina case, this is what's really weird. Your last caller is absolutely correct in what happened in the case. And yes, the girl is just out of control. If you can Google, you'll see the videos with the jailhouse calls. It will astound you. Wow. But what's really bad now, and it hasn't gone to trial yet, but what's really, really bad is the new turn of events between the groom and his new mother-in-law. Okay, granted, they were only married 5 hours.
A few minutes, yeah.
Yeah, 5 hours when this accident happened. And legally, he is, considered next to kin. And now her mom is suing her new son-in-law because she wants to be in charge of her daughter's estate instead of him. And there's also a lawsuit against the girl that killed her. So now the mom's like, no, he can't be in charge of her estate. I am. They were only married a few hours. So now they're waiting on a criminal trial to happen in her daughter's death, but now she's suing the son-in-law over the estate. It's crazy.
That is crazy, and it's scheduled to go to trial on my birthday, March 24th. So,
well, we know what we're watching.
Yeah,
then,
happy
don't
birthday
we?
to me. That is bizarre. It is sad. It is sad when tragedy strikes, and then the remaining family members end up in a money dispute as well. It's double sad for me to see that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because the first few days, and your last caller was correct. He was in the hospital, I think 4 or 5 days. He was injured very badly. Obviously he lived, thank goodness. But and she sung praises about her son-in-law. He was, a great guy. He was this, he was that. They were very much in love, and she can't believe her daughter's life was cut so short. All in the beginning, and now within the last few weeks, there's a war between her and the son-in-law over the daughter's estate.
Well,
and
the estate.
He said,
I'm not sure if she has any money, right? I'm not sure. She's young. Usually, young people don't have a lot of money. But
I believe she was 34. I think she was 34 years old. But I'm not sure. So that part I'm not sure on. But there's this lawsuit, a civil lawsuit for wrongful death, and so the last thing I read, which was yesterday, the newest thing that came out was that his lawyer said to the mother's lawyer, "Look, he's willing to give you half of whatever the settlement is on the wrongful death suit if you drop the suit against him because she doesn't want him to be the legal representative of her estate. She wants to be the legal representative.
And the estate would be the recipient of any lawsuit against the bars, right?
Correct.
So if they win that battle, that's probably where the majority of the money would come from. So the mom has got her eye on that, sounds like.
Probably. But what I read is now the son-in-law said, look, if you drop the lawsuit, I will give you half of whatever comes in from that. But she's like, no. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So anyway, I didn't know if you knew about that.
No, this is the first I've heard of this case. You guys were hiding it from me apparently, but wow, that is crazy. Jules, did you happen to catch the interview last night with Dr. Joe and Nick?
I think Joe found his calling.
Isn't he awesome?
He did. He really did a great job. I talked to him afterwards, and he did a great job. And tomorrow he's going to have Greg on. So. I thought he did great. Did you see it?
I only saw little parts. I have to go back and watch the whole thing because I was out with my wife for dinner, and so I was actually late to dinner trying to get everything lined up. But it was good. They didn't start until we got there, so I was on time. But I'll have to go back and watch the whole thing.
And are you grabbing the Zoom link for Friday? Not
yes,
this Friday, next Friday?
I've got to look for that. I don't have it yet, but I'll look for that. I'll definitely be watching. I don't know if news cameras will be there. I
don't know. The reason why I'm thinking maybe not is because it's not at the courthouse in Venice. It's in North Sarasota. So that courtroom's smaller, and so I have a feeling no. And I read through the filing that the judge clerk put out. I believe it was yesterday, with the updated information on the hearing on the 15th. And it clearly, did you read it? Because it clearly says in there that he's not going to be ruling on the bench. He's going to be hearing everything. But
take it under advisement.
Basically, and he's only giving, I shouldn't use the word only, but for each motion that he's hearing, he set a time limit on how much each side can speak on each particular motion, but he's hearing everything on the 15th.
So all emotions are going to be wrapped into one big
all
hearing.
of it. One big hearing, the sanctions, the juror crap, direct verdicts, the reasons why they feel they should have a new trial, and the remitter, about having the amounts reduced. So he's hearing everything, and he set certain ones, I can't remember which ones, but like certain motions, he's giving each side 15 minutes.
Yeah, I pulled it up here. I'm looking here. Alleged
and
juror
the Zoom
misconduct.
link is there.
I'm looking at the Zoom link here. There it is.
It's there.
Zoom.us.
And that's why I don't think it's going to be. I don't think cameras are going to be in the courtroom because it is a smaller courtroom. This is like downtown. It's downtown Sarasota, which means that's like an hour and a half drive for me. So
it does say,
I don't know if I'm going.
It does say no recording proceedings. By court order, rule and order, you are not authorized to make your own audio or visual recording of the court proceeding. No one may take screenshots or other audio or visual depictions of a court proceeding. Recording a court proceeding is strictly prohibited unless approved by the judge. If you violate these rules, you may be held in contempt of court. Members of the media must comply with Rule 2.450 and Administrative Order 2020-23.2 regarding media coverage. Please contact the court's public information officer for further information. So it sounds like we need to get a camera in the courtroom. That's what we need.
Yeah, in fact, the lawyers don't, and I can't believe though they would do this. If the lawyers want to appear by Zoom, they could appear by Zoom as well. But I do not see that happening.
I don't think cameras will be there. Like, I don't think the news will do there because Maya's not there. You're not going to have Maya or Jack or Kyle there to zoom in on, which is what they got a lot of views from, a lot of clicks from that. And it's going to be mostly procedural and no rulings. So I don't see this being covered by the big news outlets. But we'll have to watch it on Zoom and then talk about it without the audio on a separate channel. We'll have to figure out how to do that. It's going to be like a watch party, but all of us will have to be on Zoom separately.
That'll be awesome. I'm still trying to figure out. Cake Lady wants to go, and I know Dr. Joe is going to be there too. So we're probably going to go together. I don't know. That's an hour and a half for me because it's up in Sarasota. It's not in Venice. So, well, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm glad that you're going to do the Zoom link. Then that's good.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Zoom credentials. Where's the link?
The link is in there.
It just says zoom.us. That's the problem. It's not an actual.
Wait, no,
Oh, here it is.
Hold on.
Judge Carroll's Zoom video conference access information page at this. Boom.
You found it?
Yeah, I think I've got it. It's got its disclaimer and everything. And
yeah, because I knew it was in there.
And then you got watch now.
Because you can literally click on it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. I'm definitely going to watch that. I think I'll probably do.
Just remember, it starts at 8:30 in the morning.
Do you think I'd be able to listen in and repeat everything that happens for 2 hours, or however long this? That's a long sidebar to share with everybody. I might do it.
I don't think there's going to be sidebars for that.
I know, but like on the sidebars before, when I could hear it on Zoom and nobody else could, I could tell you what I was listening to. I could repeat word for word what everyone was saying. Could I do that for the entire hearing?
I don't know. I think maybe the first hour in, you might lose your voice.
Yeah, it could happen. We might give it a try, though. We'll follow that. We'll keep that on the docket for Friday.
And also on the 20th, I don't know if you're doing anything in regards to Petitos, but there is a hearing on the 20th in regards to the Gabby Petito case.
Yeah, and there's been some bombshells dropped in that one as well, with basically admissions that the family knew way early what was going on. Lining up a lawyer, knew that Gabby was gone.
Did you read those court filings?
I haven't read. I just got the summary, and I'm like, wow, this is not going to end well.
I will send you. I will email you the latest doc that was done on the 30th. Pat Riley did an amended complaint. Yeah. I'm going to send this to you.
How's the judge on that one? Now that it's not Judge Carroll, how's he doing?
I don't know. Well, it's a woman judge. I'm not sure. I don't really know much about her, but I guess I'll find out on the 20th. That one's on the 20th I believe it's at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's in Venice. Same court. It's going to be in the same courtroom. Actually, the courtroom that we were in for the Kowalski trial, it's going to be in that courtroom. That was actually Judge Brewer's courtroom. I did not realize that.
Danielle Brewer.
I thought that was yeah. So, but I will send this the document, the motion, the amended complaint that Pat Riley filed on 6 days ago, and you need to read it through. It's quite alarming.
Sounds. We might do that. Especially if this case with the Hannah Payne just can't get a jury. I mean, if it takes too much longer, they might have to move to a different county and get a change of venue if they can't see the jury here. This is taking a long time.
Yeah, if they can't, it's crazy. Yeah. All right, there. I just downloaded it, so I'm going to email this to you.
Thank you, Jules. Appreciate that. And I believe the package should be shipping out to you shortly. So hopefully you like it.
Well, I thank you very much.
It's customized. We've never done a customized hoodie before. So
am I gonna die?
No. It has a circular logo over on. It's a zip up hoodie, full zip hoodie, and it's black, and it has a circular logo on the one side that says Jules, a little artistically, and then it has a different coloring rendition, but it says Recovery Addict with the courthouses on the back. So.
Oh wow!
I hope you like it. We'll have to get pictures once it arrives.
Of course I would. Oh, I will definitely. I will definitely do that.
And it is shipped to Notorious Jules is the name I put on there. So.
My mailman's going to be like, what? What is this? But it's okay. Real quick, what's your email?
Email is MD, like doctor, but it also stands for metal detecting.
Oh, here it is. All right, I
MD
got it. I saved.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Okay, you should have it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jules.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Day.
Talk to you soon.
I'll
Bye-bye.
be in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Jules is amazing, and we're really excited to be able to get her a hoodie. She did a ton of work for us for a long time over that 9-week trial, and very, very grateful for her. All right. At CompuServe? No, at AOL. What are you talking about, Greeners? No, Gmail. Gmail.com is my email address. The girl with the animals joined the gallery. Thank you very much. Look at that blue courthouse by your name. And we also had a 6-month message coming in from right here. Patches. My first stream I ever watched started right here. 13th Addict. That is awesome. Wonderful, Patches. And Brandy is amazing. Love her community. Love her channel. She's awesome. If you don't follow Brandy, you should. She does a great job. All right, check mod chat. I will check really quickly. I'm getting sidetracked a little bit. Where were we going? Were we going to Louisiana? Let's see. Something a bit different. Let me see if this one will allow us to show it. Honorable Stacia Buchanan. Stacia Buchanan. Let's give it a go. Let's jump to a new court we've never been to before.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
Stacia. A few too many B's on there. We'll give her a subscribe. She has 1,470 subscribers, and she is live right now. So let's. This is a do not record one. This is a do not record one. Can't do that one. It looks pretty cool. It's a tiny little courtroom. Small claims court, which I don't think we've ever followed.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
Okay, Stacia, I'm unsubscribing from you. Unsubscribe. All right.
I'm not a cat.
Let's see. Let's go over to Louisiana Board of Parole for just a little bit. Unless anyone has any other objections, I'm going to keep watching the feed to see when Hannah happens.
Is that correct?
Let's see. Let's switch. Let's go here, shall we?
Great. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, we can. Thank you.
Again, hello, everyone. Good morning. As Mr. Marabello said, I'm Leatrice Dupree, and I am Glenn Stiles' aunt. Glenn, Mother Teresa Stiles, who you see before you today behind Glenn, is my sister. I consider Glenn my child as well because I helped to raise him. He grew up in my household with my daughter, and we celebrated milestones together as a family. I always shared my wisdom with Glenn throughout his young life, whether he wanted to hear what I had to say or not. I mean, I still do that today. In fact, I spoke to Glenn last night. I think I was the very last person to speak with Glenn, and I did force my advice on him, which is no different. Glenn respects me. He respects my opinion, and he respects me as well. And I always have and have had his best interest at heart, and he knows that. Glenn comes from a good family, a hardworking, honest Christian family. We have morals and values, and we do not condone wrongdoing. In fact, I was the one who turned Glenn in to authorities at the age of 16 years old when I discovered that he was wanted and his picture appeared on the television. He and I had a discussion. I put him in my car. I drove him to the police station on Airline Highway in Jefferson Parish. I remember it just like it was yesterday. I walked in by Glenn's side holding his hand 3 days before his birthday, December the 11th. And I had to walk out without him. And it was the most difficult thing that I've ever had to do. And I'm 58 years old. So I had a lot of difficult things in my life, but I considered that the most difficult thing. However, I knew in my heart that it was the right thing to do. We do not hurt people. I knew that Glenn should have known that. So now we as a family, we had to face the consequences of Glenn's action, all of us. Before I left the police station, I assured Glenn that we were going to face this together and that I would always remain by his side. Let's fast forward exactly 29 years later, come this Friday. I'm still here. I'm still by his side, with an opportunity today to speak before you on his behalf, just as I did two years ago at his very first parole hearing. I remember you well, Mr. Marabello. Glenn is now 46 years old. I was told to let all of you know how I would support Glenn's successful reentry if he was fortunate enough to be released from prison. But the truth of the matter is, we never stopped supporting Glenn. Glenn's incarceration journey has been our incarceration journey. It feels like we're paying the price as well. We feel empty inside as we do what we can outside to support Glenn each and every day. For the last 3 decades, I've spoken to Glenn frequently. I've visited him. I've written him. I've advised him. I've called the prison. I spoke to his superiors to let them know that he had a loving family who supported him and cared about his well-being. I tracked his progress. I asked his wardens, I'm very familiar with Warden Bernard, and his lieutenants of their opinions of Glenn as a prisoner. I wanted to be sure that he was doing what he was supposed to do while he was in there. And if he did not, Glenn and I would have to have a talk. I kept as close of an eye on Glenn as I could have with the distance between us. And over the years, Glenn couldn't wait to call me and share the good news regarding his numerous accomplishments, as mentioned, acquiring his carpenter certificate, electrician certificate, computer technology certificate, and more frequently, he was elected to enroll in the counseling involving victims. More importantly, rather, he was elected to enroll in counseling involving victim awareness and impact for the crimes on the victims that were committed. Along with, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Along with faith-based enrichment. Furthermore, I was very impressed with his affiliation with the Department of Corrections drug program, RDAD. I'm very proud of Glenn. I'm now confident that Glenn is a changed man. I've watched him grow over the decades. He's a poster child for correctional rehabilitation. He's wiser. He understands the consequences of his actions. He has improved morals and values, and he has matured tremendously, his mind. In addition, he's now setting himself up for success instead of failure. And he has proven that to everyone and me through his actions and throughout his incarceration. I believe now is Glenn's time. It's finally here. He's done everything that you have asked him to do. You all have asked him. He's ready to re-enter society and now demonstrate to all of us that he can be a contributing member. And I'd like to share with you specifically some of the ways that we will continue to support him moving forward.
We can't. You've got 3 minutes and you've already done 5. We've heard you. You're an excellent spokesman on his behalf. So thank you very much. Now we'll hear from the opposition. Let's hear from Mr. William Gilmore. Gilmore, can you hear us, sir?
Mr. Gilmore, unmute your microphone.
Opposition.
Gilmore, can you hear us? If you can, would you please unmute your microphone and begin to speak? We'll come back to it. Okay.
Yes,
Miss Lisa Barrios.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Miss Barrios. If you would introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to know, please.
Lisa Barrios, formerly Lisa Cobb, then Borders for 2 months. I have so many things, and I know I have limited time, but this man has changed the course of my life. Currently, my fiance, husband at the time, is actually at the moment in rehab for his 25th time since 1994. Ooh. He has not been able to sustain a relationship after we divorced. He has not been able to sustain sobriety in 29 years, whatever it is. I have buried this for years and years. And then when the previous parole hearing was held, I did tell Mr. Stiles I would pray for him. As hard as that was to say, I will still continue to pray for him. The thing that upsets me is I understand that he has people in his corner and that have supported him. And I think that is great because everyone needs that. But I am 53 years old and I am still dealing with the assault on me. in that December of 1993. I've been addicted to drugs. I have had alcohol issues that just previously I have finally, hopefully, conquered. I have a life now, but there's not 1 week or day that goes by that I don't forget about what happened to me and how I pretty much feel like I lost my entire life because of this action. He says he's not on drugs. He was on crack that night. I was told that repeatedly. I was told that from his Rodney Taylor, that they were high and they just did what they wanted to do. He's blaming everything on Rodney. He was the most aggressive of the two. I do believe in forgiveness. I do hope this man has come around. I do hope that he has changed. God wants us to forgive. I can't forgive it. I can't forgive it. But I do pray for it, but I hope and pray that this is true, that he really has turned his life around. Personally, I'm scared if he gets out. I have too much to live for right now. I'm sorry. I have a whole lot of blessings in my life right now. And I am just scared if he gets out that somebody may come after me, because I've been contacted before from the other one, from people on his end, and I'm scared for that. But I do pray for this man. As much as it pains me to say it, I do pray for him. I don't know what else to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Barrios. We appreciate the courage that it's taken you to be here today. Appreciate what you said. Thank you very much. Mr. Meyer, now hear from Mr. Meyer. Mr. Gilmore. Mr. Gilmore is on the phone. We'll take Mr. Gilmore first.
Mr. Gilmore, can you turn off your YouTube, sir, please?
Good morning, Mr. Gilmore. Can you hear us?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Gilmore, if you would give us your full name and just tell us what it is you'd like us to know.
My name is William Gilmore. My status is I was a victim of armed robbery, and I'm not in favor of policing the child at this time. I understand he had a good family life and everything, but I am skeptical of his law. In the job I have these days, I listen to a lot of gentlemen who come up to me, and it's almost like a scripted thing that I've come to realize people with the starting people being released from prison have this scripted statement to make, talking about what they've accomplished, what they've done to improve themselves. And I hear it all the time. And most of the time when I'm dealing with these gentlemen, it's not true. And I feel like right now what I'm hearing now may not be wholly true. I know that he says he's sorry about what he did, but he's sorry about what he did after he's been caught. He's been doing it. Last time when we had the other hearing, you know, and he's saying how he was scared child trying to fit in with these other gentlemen. And when I was being robbed, he was the one telling Mr. Taylor to blow me away. He treated that like 67 times, telling him to blow me away, to blow me away. And he didn't. He did not sound like he was some scared kid. He sounded like he was the leader. And that episode. And I just do not feel good about him coming out living amongst public. And I just feel like, if he gets out, there's a really good chance he's going to do something else again like he did before. I know he's taking all these programs and stuff, but, I've seen a lot of people do and tell you they've done things just to get their way. And I feel that way about this. And I know he has supporters behind him from the project, whatever that lady was with. All I have to say is if someone feels strongly about having him released, they should ask themselves would they like to take him and come live with him, their families and stuff. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your comments, Mr. Gilmore. Mr. Meyer?
Yes, sir. Randy Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. Good morning. We're strongly opposed to Mr. Stiles' request for parole. I will say he is very, very lucky to have a lady like his aunt in his corner. She's very impressive. There's very strong victim opposition in this case. At the prior hearing, there was a mental health evaluation in the record, which was not a very positive report. I do not see a mental health evaluation in the current record that's before us now. Stiles was a leader in these crimes. He's a very violent individual. He committed some violent offenses here. If he is released today, I think you're sending a signal to all of the criminals that we have in the state, in the city, particularly the juvenile offenders, that committing the crimes, there's no real accountability, no real consequences to those actions, because you're going to let him out in less than 30 years. He's going to be let out, possibly, for committing a violent rape and a couple of armed robberies. We don't think there's sufficient time served. And if we go back and look, I know he's done a lot of good things since he's been incarcerated. But if you look back at his disciplinary record, he had 3 sex offenses while he was incarcerated. One in 2004 when he was 27, 2006 when he's 29, 2014 when he's 37. His brain has developed beyond the juvenile brain that they all like to talk about. He was an adult at those times and continued to commit sex offenses. For those reasons and the very strong victim opposition, we're opposed to his request.
Thank you, Mr. Meyer. Always appreciate your comments. Mr. Stiles, is there anything you'd like to say before we allow Ms. Hutchinson to wrap it up?
Yes, sir. First of all, I want to express my remorse. I'm very apologetic for the victim lives that I affected. Sexual assault against Ms. Cobb, armed robbery against Mr. Gilmore. I understand that they have a right to feel what they feel. I hope that you can see that who the man that I became, opposed to the kid that I once were. Every day of my life, I just strive just to get an opportunity to make things right. Some things you cannot change, scars that has been inflicted, and I realize the magnitude and the impact that my decision had made at such a young age. I'm not making an excuse. I take full accountability for all the charges I have committed. And I just ask that you can see my heart and see the man that I became, more opposed to the kid and done these horrible crimes. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Stiles. And Ms. Hutchison?
Yes, good morning, board. There's no denying that Mr. Stiles committed a series of horrible crimes at 16 years old with his older co-defendant. Crimes that he's owned up to and he's taken accountability for, and he's expressed he's truly sorry for and understands the pain towards his victims. But I asked the board to look through the lens of Graham when we consider Mr. Stiles here. Because Graham states that his behavior at 16 is not indicative of who he would become in the future. It stated that juveniles lack maturity and undeveloped sense of responsibility. Studies have shown that adolescents also have a heightened susceptibility to peer influences. Glenn's aggression and recklessness essentially would have been heightened just with his peer being present. And it's not he wanted to, it's a wiring thing. It's something that's not in adults. It triggers the incentive programming in juveniles when they are in the presence of their peers, which would exasperate Glenn's recklessness at the time. But Mr. Stiles has changed. He took into account everything the board said. There was an issue with his drug abuse. He's completed 11 additional substance abuse programs. He's a mentor. He helps. He got back on a opioid dependency program. He's on Vivitrol. He takes it regularly. The Louisiana Parole Project has worked with STR and Capital Area Behavior Management. So we're fully capable of getting Mr. Stiles the continued Vivitrol treatment if he is released. They asked Mr. Stiles to take a look at himself, to do some self-reflection. He's done that. He spoke about Tapuco and how he's able to reflect and look at himself on a daily and make changes and influence the lives around him. He's worked in programs like Cultivating Compassion, Victim Awareness, and the Accountability Letter. And to be clear, Mr. Stiles did not contact his victims. While he did write an accountability letter, he didn't reach out to anyone. I know there's a concern about his write-ups, but in the past 10 years, Mr. Stiles has only had 2. 76% of his write-ups are over 17 years old when Mr. Stiles was still in his 20s. He's taken into consideration everything that you guys have asked of him. He's gotten trades. He has a residency plan with his family, and he's had multiple job opportunities. He has the full support of the Louisiana Parole Project. He's become a mentor. He's become a helper. He's grown. And in the eyes of Graham, he's done everything that Graham anticipated, that he would make a change and that his 16-year-old self would not be indicative of his 45-year-old self. For all these reasons, we ask the board to please consider Mr. Stiles to be released on parole. He has a low Tiger score and a low risk of recidivism. With any stipulations the board sees fit that may make the victims and the district attorney feel comfortable, we're willing to take. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hutchinson. Board ready to vote?
I recommend executive session to discuss confidential matters related to this case.
Second. Second. Roll call.
Tony Marabella?
Yes.
They had 2 seconds.
Yes.
Parole.
Yes.
So they just voted to go into executive
The
session.
time is 9:45. The board is going to be
Might
at
take 2
recess
minutes here.
momentarily to go into executive session to discuss matters of a confidential nature. As soon as our executive session is over, we will resume this hearing. The time again is 9:45.
I'm willing to bet in this executive session they say, hey, how are you going to vote? And they know, and at the end of that session, who's going to vote what. Yeah. Strong victim opposition on this one. We don't know exactly what happened. We think there may have been SA assault, possibly, from the sounds of things, in addition to like an armed robbery situation. Man. Ms. Holmes says, yep, that's what they do. I don't think they have just new information they need to go over that's confidential every single time. Yeah, I don't know the details of his violations in prison and what happened there. But that said, I'm doing some shopping for Mrs. R.A. right now. Trying to get her some Christmas presents. All right. Let's check the Twitter webs to see if we've got any updates on Hannah Payne. We do think this is going to happen here soon or eventually. Still no jury. All right, so we've got some homework to do before the Maya hearing. Going to see what we can do or what the options are there. She wants some new HDMI cables for your new TVs. Greeners, you read my mind. I'm pretty sure that's what she wants as well. I actually don't tell her. Mrs. RA, are you in chat? You have to tell us if you are. And if you're watching this on a replay, you have to stop her right now. She needs a microphone boom arm so she can join us on chat and we can be like side by side at the table talking. I'd be like over here and she'd be over there, or vice versa. So I'm looking at getting that because we had a very generous donation of a from 6 Volt of a microphone. Not this microphone, but one identical to it. So I think I need to get her a boom arm, and then she can come on. So would that be a good gift though? You guys know her really well. What does she want? Reverend Beasy says actually she wants a new DSLR camera with a $3,000 minimum lens kit. You guys know her very well. I'm sorry, what? Sorry, what? Wants a new iPad. She wants a new iPad keyboard, but those smart keyboards, I bought one a long time ago when it first came out, and I got it on like some special. I don't know if it was like a store special, or I don't think Apple does sales, but I got the floating magic keyboard, and they're like $250. And she's like, I don't want it that bad. So she wants a spa weekend. I just need to choose one for her, and I've chosen some other gifts that she's not going to share everything she's interested in. It's not your personal gift to her, I hope. No, I've got other gifts that I know she loves from me. She does not like wearing jewelry. I've bought her jewelry in the past. She's not a big fan of wearing jewelry. 5 minutes of peace, that would be a good one. Felt spa weekend or massage. We've got a story about that. I'm going to have to ask her if it's okay to share that story. She wants you to substitute for 1 day, just 1 day. I wouldn't cut it, Jennifer. We both know that I wouldn't make it 1 day in her place. If we know RA, he's going to get 5 of whatever he buys. Yeah. What would I like a case of, sis? What would I like a case of? I'm cool with that. She doesn't want a cheap one. She wants one that holds the iPad sturdily for the kids to use. She wants you to write and sing her a song. I've done that. Make her coupons 1 day for doing her chores, 1 spa day. I don't know if I could cash those coupons. I don't know if I could cover that. Bug Dugger, thanks for the super chat. I think that's going to be one of the gifts for sure. But just have to see how it will work. I have to go over there. Yeah, I think we'll do that. But I don't know. That feels like it's a gift for me because it's my studio. Waiting for the board to come back here, see what they rule on. She does not do the digital books. She loves paperback. She loves paper. She loves the pages, and she's a voracious reader. She'll read like 5 books a week at the same time. Finish all 5 in 1 week. A stuffed bear holding a heart from the gas station. Greeners, I think I've got you off the selection committee for right now. I've just got you on a reserve, if that's all right. We'll just hold your thoughts for a little bit until we make a decision. Everyone's saying he's going to be denied. Coupon idea is nice. I'm not super thoughtful. Like, make the coupons expire in 2 weeks. Adam.
Okay, the Committee on Parole is called back to order. We're back out of executive session. The time is 9:52. The panel is ready to vote. First off, I would like to thank everyone who spoke today, especially Ms. Barrios and Mr. Gilmore. It's very difficult for me to imagine the pain, Ms. Barrios, that you have gone through. We appreciate the courage of your being such a horrible crime. There's no question about that. Our job on the parole board is to look at all of the factors. And one of those factors certainly is
they're going to release him.
The horrible nature of the crime. And this one is some of the worst that we've seen. As a pardon board, we have to look at the totality of the circumstances. Who Mr. Stiles was at the time. This was his age at the time he committed this crime. He was 16. He wasn't 17 yet. The law provides 2-3 days make a difference. But he was 16 years old. We know what Graham said and why Graham said it. We have to look at who he is today and what he's accomplished. He's done a lot of things. He had done a lot of things when he was here at the hearing the last time. He did not get my vote, but he did get one vote the last time. And there were some things that I thought he needed to do to gain my vote. And he has done those. He has done a lot of work since then on his substance abuse, but the overall record of what he has accomplished. He is a low risk. He's taken some excellent programs. He has got a good transition plan, good comments from the warden. He took sex offender treatment a long time ago. He has explained to us exactly what he's learned by that. And I do sense true remorse. My vote today would be to grant his parole to the Louisiana Parole Project, follow all of their recommendations, and then thereafter ICOTS to Georgia. I would also require that they would do, I know, a substance abuse evaluation and a mental health evaluation, follow all of those recommendations. And thereafter, 3 AA meetings per week, random drug screens for 6 months, 5 hours of community service work, absolutely no contact whatsoever. Victims in this case or the victim's family, and to follow all of the sex offender registration requirements and laws. So that's my vote, but I'm only one of 3 votes. Ms. Wise.
Thank you, Chairman. Mrs. Stiles, this is a very, very difficult situation. To everyone that participated here today, I hear you. And as the attorney said, we have to follow the law about who you are today, what you have overcome. And that's the whole point of the parole board, is to determine if the person who committed the crime and the person that sits before us, if they are different persons, then it inclines us to vote toward your release. You did a great home. You did. You healed, and now you've been helping others. And that's all I can ask from any human being. You do a great harm, you heal, you repair yourself because you are a wounded person, because hurting people hurt people. And then you start helping others. You've demonstrated that today. So my vote is to grant as well. I would like for you to stay at the Louisiana Parole Project for 6 months. You need that. They are experts in doing what they do. And you need all of that before you leave. Now, you need it one-on-one. I know you once a client, always a client. I know that it's going to be virtual and all that, but I want you to be able to go to the center and get your feet into what the Louisiana Parole Project can offer. And after 6 months, apply for the ICOPS to Georgia. And I concur with all the special recommendations that Mr. Marabella set forth. But when you get to Georgia, I would like you to report to probation parole weekly for the first 90 days. You really got to get acclimated to, to how things go. And don't want any confusion about, well, I didn't know. If you see your parole officer once a week, you'll get acclimated to what those conditions are, because that's going to be new for you. That is my vote. Best wishes to you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wise. Mr. Freeman?
Very, very difficult case because of your age and things. But, I looked at several things and I was conflicted on several things. But the bottom line is the rape was bad enough, but it was the after effects. I thank the victim for showing up today. I also will say your aunt is a terrific lady. You need to keep listening to her. But I looked at the after effects and 2 lives have struggled. And I hate to put it like that, but I mean, and it's because of what you did to the young lady and to her boyfriend. So my vote today is to deny.
Mr. Stiles, you have 2 votes to grant and 1 vote to deny. It requires a unanimous vote today. We did not get that. So, but you did get 1 more vote than you got the last time. So perhaps the next time, keep working hard and reapply. Perhaps it'll be different next time. But your parole today has been denied. Good luck to you.
Wow. His reaction, he was pretty frustrated with that reaction. Whoa. All right. So he's not getting released. I was worried because every time they, like you guys said, every time they start by thanking the victims, it's going the other direction. In his situation, it had to be unanimous. This is his second time he's been up for parole. The first time he got 1 vote. Second time he got 2. Odds are 2 more years, he's going to get out. That would just be my guess. All right. Got some work to do. Yeah, the victims showing up in that situation is very, very difficult. All right. We are still waiting for Hannah. I don't know what is taking so long. This is crazy. Let's see, latest. Still in jury selection in Georgia. 4th panel brought in today. Each panel has taken more than 2 hours. That was 3 minutes ago from Kathy Russin over on Law and Crime. So we're not gonna have opening statements, I think, before lunch at the soonest. Right, the situation is different with each individual, depending on the crime, depending on their status as an inmate with what they've done. Like one of the factors is whether or not they've completed their GED or have a high school diploma. There are different grading scores that go into the algorithm, and then depending on what their score is going in, that determines how many yes votes they need coming out to get out. So some of them it's 2 votes to get out, some of them it's 3. But his was a 3. Kristen says, check the burner. I will do that right now. It's thinking. Just 1 second. Let's see. I'm not seeing... Oh, Kristen says burner phone. She's wanted the burner number. There it is. I checked the burner. I said, I don't see anything from you, Kristen. That's it. Ivan Victor, welcome to the gallery. Look at that. Ivan, I think this is an older picture of you. It's because it's got the mullet in that one, I think, right? It's hard for me to see from here. But welcome, Ivan. It has to be unanimous because of the crime. In this case, says Wendy. When are we going to break for lunch, Judge? That was really quiet. I'll turn it up a little bit. We are going to break for lunch a little bit early and then hopefully have Fingers crossed. Can they seat a jury in this? Are we going to have a change of venue motion? Scorpion says, I don't think that's fair to make a GED requirement for votes, etc. Not everyone is capable. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. I agree. And we saw that. We saw that yesterday. A gentleman who didn't have his GED, who struggled with learning. He says, I've got a learning disability. And he didn't have that yet. And he got 2 of 3 votes and didn't pass. I think it was that education factor that kept him from being released. Otherwise, he would have been released on 2 votes. AirPods are a great gift. She doesn't like having things in her ears. She's not a big fan. Look who's on the phone.
Call from
Mr. Ayden.
Ivan, how are you doing?
Hey, buddy. How's it going, man?
It's going well. How's Wisconsin treating you? How's the endless winter?
It has just begun, and I cannot wait for the 6 months of snow cover. It's got me giddy, and people think I'm joking, but it's like this is where I would be no matter what. You know that. I am the pride of the state. If that's an endorsement, I don't know. Which is funny because we have our city council meetings coming, or not meetings, but elections coming up. And every single year I file an application, and every single year I only file it just to have them deny me because I'm a felon, just so I can make them have to do that and see how silly that is. So I make them do it every single year that elections come up.
So you file to run for office?
I file every year, or every time. I file every single time the election cycle comes up every couple of years, just so I can make them have to deny me on the cause that I'm a nonviolent felon with over nearly 10 years out of the joint, 7 years off parole, not a single violation since. I make them have to do that.
You know what you need? You need a pardon. We need to start the Pardon Ivan fund. And,
all right. Like, please save your money and send it to the Cut Me Your Grass fund, because the problem is that in order to get a pardon, I would have to have the governor of the state. Like, I'm not just a one-time felon. Like, I don't know if that's a secret or not, but I'm not even just a 3-time. Like, I'm a 5-time, and a couple of those are federal. And so I would both need Joe Biden to wake up and give me a pardon on 2 federal charges, and I would need Tony Evers to do the 3 in the state. So now, do you know how many?
It's time for a movie quote. So you're saying there's a chance?
Well, let me tell you something. Do you want to know how many? Felons our last governor pardoned in his 2 terms?
I'm thinking it's a low number, like 0.
It is the exact number of bets that I have won versus Maya Kolowski. Okay, that's the number. It is 0. Okay, it just never happened. And so, but any event, like what's up with you? So, I think what's up with your opinion on having former parole officers sit on parole boards? I think that has to end. I think it's wrong. I think people will say, well, they have the experience, they know the cases. No. That I don't think a former PO should be able to sit on a board that is determining a guy's future. I really don't.
Who should sit there?
Hey, you know what? I don't say I have the answers.
I'm not. I'm wondering if the position exists. Would it
make
just
it
be
electable like everything else? Like, make it electable like everything else, and muddy it up that way if you want. But I don't like it muddied up the way it is with former POs, because you can't tell me that they don't have a bias. You can't tell me that they have when somebody's coming in front of them that they're humans. Okay, you can't tell me when they have somebody come in front of them that reminds them of a certain client they had, and that there's an instant. We are human beings. Okay, and so that happens. Like, it can't not happen. This is why, of all the silly things Wisconsin has done, the one thing I agree with that we don't do, we don't have early parole. We really don't. I've told you this before. We have what's called extended supervision. So if I get sentenced to 20 years in Wisconsin, what that sentence will be, it'll be 15 years in, 5 years out. You do all 5 years out, you do all 15 in. There is no early parole anymore in the state of Wisconsin. We just don't do it. And I think that's great, because why should somebody's life, or the victims, who went through it, or everybody involved, why should their fate be decided by whatever mood 3 people who used to work for the system, what kind of mood they're in that day? He could have gotten a crash that night. He could have gotten a fight with his wife last night. He could have, he could have lost a bet to Mark Tinsley, for God's sake. Like, whatever mood he could be in, you know what I mean, is determined in a guy's life.
Yeah. Interesting. I had a thought, and it was a witty comment, but I'll save it for later. So.
No, you can't do that. No.
It escaped my mind. I can't remember what it is. I can't remember what it was.
Lying to sin. I don't appreciate it. Now,
I think you should write yourself in on the election, just so that they see someone's voting for you.
Oh, I could canvass the neighborhood.
Now I say that, but at the same time, I believe strongly in participating in the electoral process locally. I don't preach it. We're Pickles, not politics here. But whatever your opinion, either side, if you have the exact opposite political leanings as I do, I would encourage you, and I would teach you. I would drive you to the election, the polling place. Okay, we've got they're coming back here, so we've got to get started. Ayden, thanks for the call.
All right,
appreciate you, man.
Love you guys.
We'll see you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Good morning. The Committee on Parole is called back to order. The time is 10:08. Panel members today are Ms. Pearl Wise, Mr. Pete Freeman. My name is Tony Maribel. I'll be acting as chair. Our remote location of this morning is at Raymond Laborde Correctional Center. Would the staff at Raymond Laborde please introduce themselves?
Deputy Warden Wayne Millis.
Raven Heath, classification. Melissa Joshua, record.
Thank you. Our first case is going to be Mr. Willie Variste. Mr. Variste, would you please give us your full name and DOC number?
Willie Thomas Variste III, DOC number 117808.
Thank you, Mr. Variste. Let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record, and then we're going to conduct a parole interview with you. At the appropriate time, we will allow those persons who wish to have input to speak. Speaking on your behalf today is your sister, Kamala Davis. Also appearing but not speaking is your brother, Derek Variste. Here at headquarters, we have 2 in opposition, Mr. Anthony Maggio and Miss Deborah Maggio, and both will be speaking. At the end of the hearing, you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say to the board, and then we'll vote. Do you understand our process, sir?
Yes, sir.
This is the matter of Willie Variste. DOC number 117808, date of birth April the 11th of 1969. He's classified as a second felony offender. He has a parole eligibility date of June the 22nd of 2024. He is not eligible for good time. He has a full term date of June 20th of 2044. He is currently serving a 40-year sentence on the charge of manslaughter, having been sentenced on January the 28th of 2005. Mr. Variste, is that information accurate?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Variste, your case has been assigned to Mr. Pete Freeman. He will begin our interview process. Will you please answer any questions he might have?
Okay, Mr. Variste, how old are you?
54.
Okay, and how long have you been in jail on this charge?
19 and a half years.
How much?
19 and a half
19
years.
and a half, okay. What's your educational level?
I graduated, I have a GED.
Mr. Variste, tell me what went on. Why did y'all go to the victim's residence? What was the intention?
My intention was to check on and see what was wrong with Mr. Mike, because that's what I call him. But when James come to ask me, he said, man, come see what's going on with Mr. Mike. So when I followed him to go to Mr. Mike condominium, once entering into it, that's when I seen that the damage had already been done. Mr. Mike was in the chair. I went to look at him and seen that he had He had a belt around his neck. So I went to the telephone to get the phone to call 911. The phone has been removed, yanked out the wall. So, and then I'm constantly asking him, what's going on? What's going on? When he told me, he said, I come to holler at Mike about my money he owed me. I'm like, what's this? And he like, man, look, he wouldn't give it to me. And he like, man, look, all I need you to do is just cover for me. I said, man, I'm not covering for nothing. I say to the point, why you come get me and you done did this? The only thing where I messed up at is when I run out, because I ain't want no part of it, I didn't go down to that security booth. I decided it spooked me because I never been in that position. I just ran off. I didn't want nothing to do with anything. When I ran off, I went to my mother and them. I stayed at my mother that night. That next morning, my mother went to work and she called back to the house and she told me, she said, man, they got your brother on the charge. And that's when I asked her what it was for. And she said, they got your brother for the charge that this dude got killed in Brandywine condominium. When I explained it to my mother told me then, she said, man, turn yourself in. So I called Mr. Otis, he's a Baton Rouge City Police. We always been pretty cool friends. I called Otis and explained to him. Otis told me, stay put. That's who came and arrested me. And upon my arrest, that's when I told him everything that I saw when I walked into the apartment about what I seen and what was this. And they just went from that because he told me, he said, man, well, God said, you was with him. You helped him do this. You helped him do that. I said, no, I didn't help him do anything, but it was cowardly on my part. But when I ran out, I didn't go to that booth and reported nothing. I just wanted to get away from I didn't want to talk to nobody because I didn't want to have no parts of this that it just happened. So after they arrested him, on his arrest, he admitted to what he did. But at the same time, you implicated me in something that I did not do. And I try to explain this through over and over, but the detectives and all them explained to me, he said, man, you put yourself on the scene, you put yourself in this position. So as the thing went on, I had a lawyer, Ron Johnson, at that time. Ron said, man, look, it don't look good for you because you put yourself on the scene and he didn't say this, he didn't say that. So to that point, he came with the plea bargain. The plea bargain was supposed to have been for 10 years. So upon my sentencing, I understood the fact that I can receive the maximum sentence of 40 years. But I wasn't looking to receive 40 years, and that's what they sentenced me to. And through the whole thing, and at that point, like I addressed y'all at the board, I wanted to let the family know I had no intentions of harming anybody. I had no intentions of robbing anybody or doing anything wrong. I was coming to see because in that community where we lived in Brandywine condominiums, I help most people as much as I can, from mechanic work to the security as the kids getting in during curfew time, or as anybody doing anything. And I constantly did it because I worked at the store, corner store where everybody used to come and see and holler at me all day because I used to sell CDs and DVDs. And, you know, with this incident and when that happened and what James made the statement, and it made it unstable for me to even clear myself of anything because I put myself on the scene. I ran away like a coward. I didn't want to say anything, and that's my fault. And it's very much my fault.
All right, let me ask you this then. So you knew Mr. Maggio?
I did, and I did his brakes on his car. I used to do in and out mechanic work for most people around the complex. You know,
okay.
And then
this next question. So you knew Mr. Maggio had disabilities from a previous car wreck?
No, sir. No, sir. But Mr. Maggio never told me that.
He didn't act like he had any disabilities? Walk funny or anything like that?
He had it like
He was in a serious car wreck.
Yeah, he had it like a slight, impetuous walk, but I never, really figured that he was in a car wreck or anything
All right.
like that.
Okay, well, let's move on from that then. Okay, so you claiming you went there to his condo not knowing anything what your friend was going to do. You were just going to visit a man that you'd done his brakes before and seen him at the store.
Listen,
That's what you tell him.
When James come and got me and say, what's wrong? Come and ask me to see what's wrong with Mr. Maggio. I'm thinking something is wrong with it. So when I went to his condo.
Right, I understand. That's what you told us. Okay.
We went in the condo. This is what, and then like I seen, the damage was over. Mr. Maggio.
You on drugs that day? Alcohol?
No, sir. I don't have an alcohol or drug problem. Only thing I used to do.
Alcohol or drug problem, you got 7 14s. 7 14s, which is intoxication on your record. And you go tell me you don't have a problem with substances.
My 14s coming when I was at DCI.
Well, that don't.
No, because my 14s was from homebrew. And I got a 14 because of the smell. I was also video camera, went through the sobriety thing with hands and the balance and all that. I passed them, but it was that aroma. And I'm not gonna lie, yes, I drunk several times when, guys that made it, we just in it, I drunk it with no attention or anything else. Just homebrew.
Just the homebrew prison brew.
While we're on your disciplinary, what was the theft for?
The theft?
June 22.
June 22, 2 guys on my tip had a fight. We were sleep. I was asleep. At that time, I was a dorm rep. They woke me up because they had a fight in the TV room. They woke me up, but they used the excuse and they had water all over the floor and they had a little blood on one of the stools that he was rushing. Samuel Martin was rushing back to the phone and he slipped and hit his face on one of the stools. So when he woke me up, he said, man, I think I need to go to permit. So I called for the lieutenant. And I went to the lieutenant about that we need to get him to medical because his eye was cut and he was swelling, that we need to get him to the infirmary. And so when he asked me about it, I said, well, pretty much what you see when he come in and he looked at the situation on the tier. He seen where the skid mark, had the blood on a stool. So we went on and got him to the infirmary. Come the next day, when Warden Johnson, when he was here before he retired, they ended up checking him. And that's when he found out, he confessed that he had a fight. So when Warden Johnson come back and talked to me about it, and I explained to him, that's when he told me. And I said, well, and I caught him and I asked him, why would you lie to me to get me to lie to people that you needed medical attention? You slipped and fell and hit your face on a bleach, on a stool trying to get back to the telephone when you and this other guy done had a whole fight.
So what did you take? I mean, what's the theft for?
That's what it's for.
For taking a bite?
Theft by fraud.
Oh, okay.
Not stealing anything, theft by fraud about like giving false information to get somebody medical attention.
Okay, I got you.
Theft by fraud to get somebody medical attention?
Okay, you had one prior period of supervision. It was revoked. That was back in 93 for an armed robbery charge.
Brandy's going to be covering that one.
DA Tracy Barbera for East Baton Rouge Parish is against parole, says you not have done enough time for the seriousness of your offense. The family of the victim, the brother, Steve Maggio, is opposed, very opposed. And Greg Maggio is also opposed. And we got a bunch of letters from nieces and nephews. Bunch of heartfelt letters from nieces and nephews. I just want that to be on the record, saying how much they miss their uncle and how seems like he was the favorite uncle. Where, you know, come over, bring them gifts, take them out to eat, stuff of that nature. Just seems like all out round good fella when it came to being with his family. I see you have a family. You have 3 children. You have any contact with them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how old are they?
I got one daughter. She's 27. The other one just turned 22. I have an older daughter. She's like 41 right now.
What kind of classes have you taken?
I went through AA, anger management, mind, body, and soul. I just finished pre-release. I'm in living in balance. I think I have to apply for victim impact.
All right. Do any community service around the prison?
Well, I'm a boxing trainer. Most of the time, I have older guys, plus we have a Hawk program, which is, I'm a trainer in the Hawk program. This is for older fellas that some of them have disabilities, some of them have limited of doing certain things. We get them in the gym and we exercise, help them maintain a healthier life than what they was already doing. Some of them, they help them drop their weight. But some of them they consider as kind of obese, but some of them is heart problems as having too much weight on them at that time.
Okay. Do you have any medical problems? See where you went to the hospital a couple times.
I had a stroke in March 13, I had a stroke. But pretty much my body it's kind of getting itself back together, but at times my eyelids, they'll shut on their own and I won't get no relief of moving them at least for about 30 minutes to an hour. So during that time, I try to make myself go to sleep, let my body catch up with itself. You know, most of the time it works. Sometimes I have to be there a little longer, or I'll go to an infirmary.
Well, Warden, what do you have to say about Mr. Varese?
Well, like you said, he's currently involved in the programming, and you know, one of the things we, would recommend if a decision was made that he complete that living in balance, and of course do the victim impact class before anything else, done. He's also a Strive member. He's one of our Strive inmates, which is, he's been here since 17, and since he's been here since 17, he's had that one write-up. He's had that 122. I mean, he's been pretty good inmate since he's been here. Like I say, he's involved with a Hawk program, which helps a lot of guys with diabetes and overweight and everything, try to get their weights down and stuff, try to get them off meds and everything. So that's a good thing that he's doing.
I have no further questions, Mr. Chair.
I have a question. Mr. Varese, we don't have all of the court records in our file here, so I've just got a couple questions about that. You pled guilty to manslaughter, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Turner went to trial. He was convicted, got a life sentence plus 30 years. Did you testify at that trial, or did you have anything to do with that trial at all?
No, sir. The only thing at that trial, they brought me in for Mr. Turner to identify me.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. That's all I've got.
I got a few questions. Mr. Wheeler, now I want to be sure. Now you said you were 54 and you have a daughter that's 41.
Yeah, I made her young.
I just want to be clear. Okay, you were 13. Okay.
I was 14 years old.
You were 14?
Yes.
You
Yes,
had
ma'am.
your birthday that year. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure the math was right. Okay. What is your relationship to James Turner? What's your relationship?
James lived in a complex. They stayed across from us in the opposite.
So y'all were neighbors? So y'all were neighbors? Y'all were not related in any way?
No, we're not related. We're not neighbors.
I thought you said your mother said your brother got arrested and you turn yourself in. That's why I thought he was your brother.
I got my brother.
Huh?
My brother and his fiance also lived in the condominium complex. They was diagonal from us downstairs. So I guess, as they told me, when James went through a photo lineup, he ended up picking out my brother. And they went to go get my brother.
Okay.
When mom called me on the phone and she told me about it, that's when I explained to her what had happened. That's when she told me, she said, Junior, turn yourself in. So that's when I got in touch with the arresting officer, Otis and Acosta.
Okay, okay.
She came and arrested me.
So you stepped up and cleared your brother right off?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
My baby brother had nothing to do with it. He didn't go up there. I'm the one walked up there.
Yeah, so, okay. Okay, that's what I was wondering. You said when you said your mother called you. Okay, so that was the brother, but James Turner was not. He was a neighbor in the same complex that all of y'all lived in.
Yeah, well, it's different complex set in different orders.
Okay.
Our complex will face theirs. Theirs is on the end, coming from the front gate where the security gate is.
Okay.
You can see there, Mr. Maggio, you can see his condominium. You can see James, because at that time they stayed on the end by the stairs. Mr. Mike stayed in the middle. Mrs. Margaret, she stayed in the middle. She stayed in between them. As I was told, she was the one that seen James when he come out, identified James.
Okay.
James, once they arrested him, admitted to what he had did, but he tried to use me as a crutch, as the way of getting out.
He did.
I don't know where I feel on this one.
All through his trial, he come up with.
Let me stop you there, because I got what you're saying.
I'm gonna let you finish.
James is older than you or younger than you?
He's younger than me.
He was younger than you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so he didn't want to be by himself. He didn't want to be by himself. Okay, so you were the older one, and you did odd jobs and stuff around the place. So the neighbor across the street did not ever identify you, but she identified James.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And James identified your brother.
Identified my brother, looking at thinking it's me, because me and my brother, we look alike.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'm with you now. I'm with you. Now, you have a strong need for substance abuse treatment. What do you say to that? Do you need treatment?
Nope, doesn't have a problem.
I've been through all the treatment and control myself as then, but I still can use additional treatment.
So what age did you start using anything? What age? How old were you?
I think I started smoking marijuana around the age of 13.
Okay.
That's the only.
Go ahead.
So right before it became a
So you
parent.
stayed with marijuana since 13, age 13? And the warden has already pointed out, I had in my notes that from 2017 to 2022, you didn't have any write-ups. But before that, if you had a new institution, you kind of got things figured out. What do you think you need? If you're successful today, what do you think that you can make it on the outside, making good decisions on the outside? Because I'm a little concerned.
I feel now, my mindset now is way better than it was 19 and a half years ago.
Okay.
I can maintain myself outside without any drug or alcohol or substance, because I really didn't drink on the streets. I just, like I said, I used to smoke marijuana all the time. But I figured I'm more stronger than I was. Mindset wise, I'm more stronger
when you talk about stronger on what?
No, stronger mentally.
Okay, so as strong as what mentally? What? Stronger to not use drugs? What do you mean stronger?
Not to use drugs, not to be in any odd situation, because I never want to be in that type of situation where somebody get hurt. I never intended for anybody to get hurt. And what had happened.
Let me stop you there. Have you ever heard this expression about being able to read the room? to kind of,
because
have you ever heard that
not doing
expression,
well.
being able to read the room, being able to smell trouble? Have you ever heard those kind of things?
I heard that was expression.
You can maybe smell trouble, and so you go the other way. You just don't go the other way. That's what I wonder, about that kind of decision making, being able to kind of tell.
I can tell if it's not right, I'm taking flight.
Yeah, that's that kind of thing. If it's not right, take flight. Yeah. Because you might not get to explain, and they might not believe you when you explain. So if you're not there, you ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, that's all I had, Chairman. Thank you for answering my question.
Now we'll hear from your supporters. We'll hear from Kamala Davis, your sister. Ms. Davis? You're on mute, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Hello.
Hi.
Speaking on Willie Thomas Barris III, I feel that his mind is very much stronger from our conversations, from writing each other all the time. I check on him mostly through email instead of phone calls. It saves more money to where I can actually possibly send him money and stuff like that. But I feel that his mind is very much stronger and he can survive. He can be successful out here in the world. I mean, he has so many. He's a jack of all trades. He can do anything. As far as jobs wise, we have jobs lined up for him. We have family that's waiting and ready for him. We're getting things together for him, as far as clothing wise, make sure he has somewhere to live, making sure that we can get him to and from everywhere he needs to get to till he can get on his own feet, as far as getting his own transportation and his own place of living. We are here for him for that. Anything that the court says that he needs to be doing, we're here to make sure he does that.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We appreciate your comments. Now we'll hear from the opposition. Mr. Maggio, Ms. Maggio, which wishes to speak first? Yes. And if you go to that podium right there. You would just introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to hear.
Anthony Steve Maggio, the older brother of Michael, say that Mr. Ruiz addressed my brother to do. What to do? He was a very beloved brother. And thing I remember about the trial, Mr. Ruiz was in denial. He said, I ain't nothing to do with it. And I still see denial. When y'all said he had 7 counts of alcohol abuse or something of that nature. My brother was more than a brother. He was my best friend. We was like 12 months apart in birth. We were raised in the same room, went to the same schools, participated in the same sports, same yard, Catholic high. In fact, when I was newly married, he lived with me. He was a favorite also. It was horrific. He was a very gentle man. We were in a car wreck in 1975. We were fishing on that fishing trip, and he had a brain damage. He had 3 loads in his brain. He was disabled. It affected his speech. He was very outgoing, like the fish and hunt. We didn't do those things. Very gentle man. Very gentle man. They preyed on me because they knew he was a gentle person. And how did it affect me? I was so angry. I had to get counseling for a year. I was angry at my children. I was angry at my employees. It did affect me. I just could not get over that. A better place now. Still grieving. In fact, I know what drugs and alcohol do. My wife and I, our daughter just OD'd on Thanksgiving morning, and I'm going through preparing a burial, funeral. So I know what they do, drugs and alcohol. And I've sensed from Mr. Maurice that he thinks he can do it by willpower. He can't. Because if y'all let him go, and he doesn't get help from their program, he'll be back in prom. Promise. He will be back in prom. So I would say, also, it's not affecting just me, but my kids too. My youngest son, he sometimes said it's like a boogeyman, you know, we're a victim. But we still are. Go to his grave quite often, my brother. You know, he'll never come back. He ain't come back, at least in this life. And I would just say that what they did was horrific in the sense that his loved one, my brother Mike, his loved one should have been there in his last breath. That's a sacred time. But they were there. They were there. You know, a life is very fragile, really important to us, you know. So in conclusion, I would say at this time, someone said stuff he said, I don't know if it's true or not, I just take the word for him, but I would say I would want him to serve his full sentence. Can I ask one question? Sure. You had mentioned about the other fellow had 12 life plus 30 years. What does that mean?
Well, it means he's in prison for life and he got an additional 30 years, I assume, for the armed robbery. That's the only information we had.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Deborah Magic.
I was at the trial, and I remember the prosecutor said there was no way one person could strangle the victim with the belt. Mr. Maurice, and when he had his opportunity to talk to us, he gave the same story. By the time I got there, it was all done. I don't believe it. So, I don't see remorse. I was hoping I'm a very strong Christian, and I was hoping that I would hear him say, I'm sorry. I haven't had that closure. And to add to what my husband said, we have 7 children, and every one of them love their mother. It was special. And I didn't stay in for the autopsy report, but this plate fell out of his head, is what I understand. That means somebody beat him up too. There's more too. I will never know the story. But I do want to say this about the young man, James Turner. He said he was sorry to the family. Not really. I know he's been staying alive, but he was praying that would change my heart. So I can't say release in my heart, but I will continue to pray for him. Because the boy is, we miss a lot of joy, future joy. There's our loved one. It's no longer here. A great man. A great man. As his sister-in-law, I was like his sister too. If they were all 4 boys. And just praying that both of the traitors that killed my brothers, they will find peace and religion.
Thank you very much, Ms. Magic. Mr. Maurice, is there anything you'd like to say before the board votes?
Yes, sir. First of all, I'd like to say toward the board that I'm sorry for everything that happened. During that time, it's even right now, it's even hard to explain because I've been trying to explain this from day one. You know, like I said, my intention wasn't to go to do anything to anybody, was to check on them. That's the same as, like I said, the security that ran our condominium complex in his trial testified that I was like a pillar to the condominium community. I helped anybody, not to hurt anybody. And like I said, my intentions going there wasn't to hurt, but this is what I seen. And I'm being honest. And like, I don't know how much this been played in my head over these 19 and a half years that I'm wrong for the part that I played by running away from the situation, not reporting the situation, putting myself in a bad situation. And doing that bad situation, like I say, I took the plea. I took the plea because the arresting officer, to the detectives and everybody, I placed myself on the scene. So I put myself at fault for what I did. I never, not to hurt Mr. Maggio, not to do anything to him, to see what was wrong with him. And I sincerely hope that they understand, and I hope they give me for being a coward that I was at that time. For running off and not wanting to say nothing, not wanting to be involved. You know, and then, you know, like during my sentencing, I was told that through the grace of the family, I was allowed to make the plea. But right now, I'm asking through the grace of the family that you see my part, that I never did anything wrong except being a coward and run away from something I should have reported.
He's sticking to his guns that he's not guilty.
That's all I have to say.
But he took a plea.
Thank you, Mr. Grace. Panel ready to vote?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Baris, you know, I listened intently today. I hear what you're saying. You have your version of the events that happened and you're sticking to them, which if that is what happened, that's what I would do also. But then also look at the statement that you made to officers, and you admitted to being inside the apartment when the victim was robbed and murdered. That is a quote from you, from the arrest report. Your arrest. In front of your friend, you stated that you were in the apartment when he was robbed and murdered. So, you know, I just don't know what to think. I mean, you definitely, to me, you have a poor disciplinary record. I mean, I know it was 7 years ago, but when I first asked you about drugs and alcohol, it was like you had no problem at all with them. Then when Mr. Marabella questioned you, you opened up a little bit more and said, well, yeah, I did use marijuana and I drank a little bit and things of that nature. Well, to me, you must have had a serious problem if you had 7 write-ups and it was in a 1.5 year period that you had those 7 write-ups, and hasn't taken much treatment since then. My vote today is to deny.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Ms. Wise?
Mr. Willie, to the Maggio family and to your family, I appreciate everybody's participation today, and I hear both sides. And I'm sorry for your loss, to the Maggio family. I'm sorry for your loss. I just wish you redemption someday, for your generations to come. There's a thing that's said, the offenders say all the time, that you don't want to be marked by the worst thing that you did. So, you know, you want to have more history in your life than just the worst thing that happened. Mr. Willie, I'm just inclined to take a chance on you. It takes great fortitude to keep saying the same thing, whether people hear you or not, and whether if they write it down or not. It wasn't written down in the police report. You did what your mama said. You got your brother out of trouble. You know, you went and stood up and said what you had to say. And I admire you for keep speaking your truth. Whether anybody hear it or not, you are speaking your truth. And as a young man, that's all we can ask you to do. For me, my vote is to grant conditionally after you complete a long-term substance abuse program. I want you to sit on the front row in that treatment program.
That front row's
If you do, I'm
crowded.
just one vote. And you really pay attention and you really digest. Because you start using drugs at 13, start using marijuana at 13, there's a lot you missed. And you don't know what you don't know. And you got a lot of picking up to do and catching on to do. And you have a sweet family that you really got to lean into when you get, whenever you get out. Because, and my vote is to grant, after you complete that program, you follow their recommendations for your release. They're going to give you a release plan. You follow that release plan. And I want you to go to AANA meetings 3 times a week and get a sponsor. You need somebody to bounce things off of. That is my vote.
Thank you, Ms. Buss. I'd also like to thank everyone who spoke here today, especially the Maggios who encouraged you to come here and to talk to us, to tell us about pain and breathing. Mr. Reese, something doesn't add up to me. And, you took a plea to manslaughter. Oftentimes, and I don't know if you know anything about my history, but I was a lawyer for a long time. I was a judge for a long time. I know how the system works. I know how things work. I know oftentimes people take pleas when they didn't do something. That's a plea in their best interest. But it seems to me, knowing what I know about the way criminal trials work, and that's why I asked the questions that you asked. Had the district attorney and all of the evidence suggested that what you're saying is true, they would have used you as a witness, as opposed to having him point at you and saying you were the person that was involved in it. So I have to question your veracity, your honesty here today about what really happened. I am very concerned about the fact that you downplayed the fact that you have a substance abuse problem. You've had a number of intoxications on you. But initially to Mr. Freeman, you said, "Nah, I ain't got a problem." And we know that's not true. You've done a lot of work. You've worked hard. You've been in jail for nearly 20 years. I just don't think you're ready yet. So my vote likewise would be to deny. So you've got 2 votes to deny your parole and 1 vote to grant. So I hope you're encouraged to continue to do the work that you're doing. And once you get some more substance abuse treatment, perhaps reapply. Maybe you'll get a different outcome. But today your parole has been denied. Good luck to you.
Yeah, something didn't add up for him on the end. I think you'd have to have information about the court case to make a judgment call on that. I know there are people, that are sitting in jails and prisons that didn't commit the crime they were convicted of doing or confessed to doing. I know that's a real thing. I don't think it's extremely prevalent. That's just personal belief there, but yeah, something doesn't add up. Sent info to the burner. Let me check. Still no word yet on the Hannah Payne jury, so I think we're going to take a lunch and come back and see if we can encourage them along. Let's see what we got here.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
Louisiana lawmakers introduced bills to give 10-6 lifers a chance to leave prison. I'll have to look at that, Lemus. Thank you very much. All right. If you're in front of the Louisiana Parole Board, you take accountability even if you swear you didn't do it. They value that over everything else. I think we're going to break for lunch right now. We're still waiting. We're still holding out that this Hannah case is going to move forward. Hold on. Let me copy this.
When are we gonna break for lunch, Judge?
I heard you. We're going to do lunch in just a second. Okay, I'm going to rename that. Save. All right, we're gonna break for lunch here in just a minute. Witchy Mom, I'm member for 2 months. What about a star map with the date, time, location of your wedding and scrolling script of when stars collide? I don't know. Here's the problem, Witchy Mama. To our wedding reception, I made the mistake of wearing a fancy dress, and I kid you not, I was wearing a dress. Well, it was a kilt, but I was in full Scottish regalia. Apparently, you're not supposed to draw attention away from the bride. So I'm not sure if reminding her of that day is the best thing I can do. I tell you, I started out on the wrong foot. I made so many mistakes. Let's see. It's nearly 5 p.m. in the UK. Vicky, I apologize. Court is taking forever to see the jury. It's just unbelievable. I want to see pictures. Let me just tell you this. I've got the legs for a kilt. I was on the cross country team in high school. I was on the swim team, and for some reason, I managed to keep my my very fit calf muscles. So I've definitely got the legs for a kilt. This RA is hard to shop for. Yes, I'm finding this every single year. Cleaning service monthly for 6 months. I promise it's a great gift. We might have to do that for the Airbnb here soon because I was out there cleaning it just this week, and it's not something I want to do multiple times a week. My son was 26 miles away with his wife shopping from a murder. He was sentenced to 25 years, and he have all the proof he wasn't around the area. Talk about innocent being wrongfully charged. Wow. Marcy, that is crazy. You'd think that could get a second look. Dusty Den, do I keep missing your message? Let me see. Let me scroll back. I apologize. It's going fast, but let's see. I sent you a great judge on YouTube to the burner phone, area code 925. Great judge out of El Paso. Seventeenth Judicial. Let's take a look at this one really quickly. We'll take a peek before we go for lunch. Oh, 171st. Sorry, I said 17th. That's a little bit different. Puts us in a different state. 117th Judicial District Court. Let's pop up on this one. And over here.
Have them send someone with more experience.
Give me just 1 second here. Is this a real court? I'm asking for a friend. Here we go. Let's jump over here real quick. It just stopped. Like it just barely stopped.
I'm just telling you all the possibilities and what we might see at the end of the road.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
And if this modification of child support is going on, believe me, he may think, oh my God, if I take these 2 boys, it's going to minimize my child support payment. So maybe I'll do it now. Who knows? Right?
The judge is in her
maybe
in her studio.
So I want you to try to open up a conversation with your ex, right? I want you to find out about that electric guitar. That's important, okay?
Electric guitar.
That's because they're lying to you. And you're letting it happen. I want you to ask your son what friend gave it to him, supposedly. Okay, and then we'll call the friend's parents or the friend and see. Okay, that this electric guitar situation is important. Don't drop it. Yes.
Yes, because that's strange. Like that doesn't just happen.
Don't.
And then like with a speaker and everything.
You're not doing anything. Your son keeps thinking, "Oh my God, my mother doesn't care. My mother doesn't check. My mother doesn't. He's running circles around you. with lie after lie after lie. Show him that you're not going to take any lies anymore.
Trophy Wife, that case is being followed by Brandy
Okay.
Churchwell over on her channel.
Okay.
Strongly recommend if you want to watch that, you check out her channel. She's
Good.
doing a good
That's
job
your
with it.
homework. Open up the communication with ex-husband about the electric guitar. Okay. Miss Serrano, what else did we have to cover with Miss Joanna? Other than she's doing great.
Nothing. I do have to let the court know that I thought the EHN caseworker was meeting with her on the 12th, but it's actually the 11th.
The Committee on Parole is called back to order. The time
Sorry,
is
Louisiana just
What time?
blared in my headphones there. Sorry, guys.
I had it. I believe it's at
I
1.
don't know if it's a Stratocaster or a Telecaster.
Good.
Yeah, I need to change on my calendar. Okay.
Okay.
Let me double check. I'm looking at the notes, but the computer is going really, really slow.
Mine was
And then I also, because of the
At
dog
12.
situation. It's at 12? Okay. On the 11th at 12 with the HN?
Yes.
Oh, she comes to my house, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was good too. So I don't have to like drive and. Oh, and I wanted to, because of the other issue that got me like triggered, so I could prevent any problems like that with the dog because it pees everywhere. It's a puppy, so I got her a cage. But I didn't buy it; they gave it to me. I don't know if you could see it.
Cage is a good idea.
Yeah,
Because
so
they will not pee where they live, so they won't pee.
Yeah, she pees all over. So I got her that so I could have her in there, and then when she needs to pee and poop, I could take her outside so she could learn little by little where to go.
What I would suggest doing, and I'm not a dog expert, but I did have a cage in a dog, and I think you can't leave them in there for more than 4 or 5 hours at a time. Can you leave a dog in a cage 8 hours while you go to work and come back? You guys? Anybody?
No, don't do that.
I don't know, but I can find out with animal control.
Okay.
I know that they're gonna have enough space. Yes.
That may be cruel to keep it. So take them out every 3
It
or
all
4
depends on the
hours.
size of the dog and the size of the cage. Because they gotta have enough time to move around.
If you've got a big dog run, that's different than
Yeah, that's a
cage.
kennel.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. It looks
I don't
big.
like kennels.
And I remember your dog. It looks okay. The issue for me is not cruelty in a cage, because everybody cages their dogs. Lots of people cage their dogs. The issue is how long to make them hold their pee or their poop. That's the cruelty. How long can you let them hold? You take them out every 4 hours, or start out with 2 to 4 to 6 to 8. I don't know if they can hold their stuff for 8 hours straight in case you have to go to work, Joanna. I want to get trained
This
so
is
that
court.
you can go to work for
We're
8
listening to
hours and
court.
be a gusto.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. With that, I could just put newspapers down when I leave her because it's like it doesn't have a top.
Yeah.
Like it's like a pentagram. Like
no, it's like a playpen.
Like a playpen.
Like a play, right?
And at first she doesn't like it, but I am gonna let her out and like run around. So.
Well, good. Yes, because you're home and that's okay.
Yeah,
but Joanna, when you go to work, I want to know how long you can keep a little dog in the cage so you're not abusing the dog.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to abuse the dog.
No. I don't want that. So let's find out, do a little bit of research, find out how long, and we'll do a little bit. Ms. Serrano, that's your next thing. Let's find out how long you can keep a dog in a cage. You train them to hold their pee and their poop, is what you're doing. Because they will not pee or poop where they live. So that little pen can't be big. So they can pee in a corner and live in another corner.
Okay, we're moving on. We are moving on,
so
Kevin.
That pen may work, it may not.
We're gonna go right here, and from that we're gonna go up to this soundbite, which was from a while ago.
Your son just smeared feces all over my bathroom.
Yeah. So we hear some strange things in court, and occasionally that one was one of them. On that note, is everyone ready for lunch? Who's hungry? Show of hands. I'm sorry. That was the Mark Jensen trial. Wow. Is there something else we could watch just briefly to get that out of our heads? I think it would be an upgrade to go to Young Thug at this point. Yeah. Holy cow. And there's nothing. There's nothing on. Nothing at all. All right. We need a palate cleanser. We might have to do a long lunch because the first 15 minutes you guys will be like brushing your teeth and gargling to get. Yeah. We need a palate cleanser. Sorry. My apologies. If you're looking for the sentencing of Garth Pursehouse, Brandy Churchwell is showing that over on her channel. We've got our fingers crossed that a jury's going to be seated here. Oh, look, 14 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, still in jury selection for Hannah Payne. Let's see. I know what I can share. I can share a picture of my cat. That's what the internet's for, right? It's for cat pictures. Let's go ahead and just zip this over to my computer right there. Let's bring this up here. Show in Finder. There's my cat. Hopefully it's not going to be... Oh, it doesn't matter. Cats can be upside down. It doesn't make a difference. Come on. There we go. I'm not a cat. Here we go. Here's a picture of my cat. In a cardboard cat scratch box, which was sent to me as a gift as well for the cat. My cat is just chilling. This is called a cat scratch or cat lounge. A cat lounge, I think it is, and that's what it does. It's supposed to be like scratch the claws. No, it thinks it's like a couch and it just lays down. Ivan says started here with Mark Jensen and stayed a year. Wow, that was a rough one to start for. It's not our cat to my cat. It was a smooth transition and it happened almost overnight. But I will tell you this. I'll tell you this. Mrs. R.A. bought cat food yesterday. For her own volition. Still an outdoor cat, although Mrs. R.A. left the door open. Coming in from dinner last night, we came in, she opened the door. She beat me to the door because I was checking the Airbnb locks. And she opened the door, left it open for me, and the cat just zoom right in the house, right behind her. And she's like, "Hey, cat." And the cat, like, you know when the cat knows it did something wrong, but it doesn't want to make it right? So it just like crouched down and got really low. And it's just like, what? I'm not here. It just sat there. And so I had to you had to do like a spatula, just slide my hand underneath the cat to get underneath it to pick it up, to take it back outside. Yeah. I'm not sure if you can see this picture on the left ear. It still needs to make its trip to the vet. I still need to do that. But on its left ear, it has a scratch from a fight, a cat fight. But we have to do this part next, which means I need a cat carrier. Outdoor is dangerous for cats, but indoor will kill some of our kids. The allergies are that bad, so it's a sacrifice that the cat has to make. If it wants to enjoy the benefits of living rent-free on our deck and eating our food, or eating whatever food we get for it, that's the deal. And it's got all the amenities out there now. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead. Was that better? We can go to lunch on that. Get Mrs. R.A. a cat mom shirt. Along with the recommendation for a divorce lawyer. She's not a fan, although she knows that I am. So that's cool. All right.
Thanks. I don't want pickles either.
Yeah, the judge doesn't want pickles either. That was the wrong button. There we go. I do say tonight, Weather Watch. You and me. Is there something happening this week? Maybe tonight? I ask before I throw us under the bus. Is there anything we're doing, say, around 8 p.m., or is that going to be tomorrow? Yes, the cat did just show up and just wouldn't leave. Oh, we tried to get it to leave. We put ads in Facebook in the community page. our community page, our town has like 5,000 people in it, and 6,500 people are members of the community page. So everybody plus is there. Nobody's claiming it. So tonight at 8 p.m., we have a podcast here on this channel, Weather Watch. Thomas and I will be doing what we do best, which is just shoot the breeze and have a little bit of fun with. I said shoot the breeze, right? Did I clearly enunciate? Anyway, we're going to have a little fun tonight, talking about some fun things. Some Christmas themed discussion will occur. So if you want to have a fun time talking about some cool stuff that's happened to us, please join us. So mark your calendars. Get out your Rolodex. No, what your Rolodex is for contacts. What was the old fashioned? You have a desk. How many of you, show of hands, how many of you have the big desk calendar on your desk and you still write on the dates? I had a company that would order those for the employees, and everyone would order everything because the only thing they got from the company that was like a freebie was a calendar, and nobody used them. But we would every year we'd like, yep, I need the desk calendar, I need the carry, the day planner, and I need the fridge magnet version of the calendar. I need everything. It's the only way we got freebies from the company, but I never used it. So anyway, all right, we are going to, the podcast is on the move. It's migrating. Pretty soon we're going to kick off the week with a podcast instead of wrapping it up. But it'll be Wednesday tonight. I still have one and a planner and a wall calendar and a date book. I tell you, if it's not on my phone, it didn't happen. That's how I am. All right, sorry about today. Sorry about the judge and the pet advice, the bad pet advice we got out of court, out of, what was that, 171? You have to watch her carefully. Anyway, I make digital planners. Boom. Let's see. I think that's it. With the cat's name, it was Pickles, but we've now changed it to Kiki. It was Pickles, but now because it answers to Kiki and it answers to pss, 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 better than Pickles. But I will tell you that when I call the cat, it doesn't matter what yard it's in. It could be 2 yards away. It comes running like a bullet because it knows I'm about to feed it. Trained it well. Or it trained me, one of the two. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me this morning. We're going to be back this afternoon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. This is like day 3 of jury selection on this trial. We're hopefully going to be opening statements for the Hannah Payne trial. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better. And please stay safe until we go live again, which will be in an hour and 10 minutes, roughly. I'm thinking 1:15 or so. 1:15. Now I have to change my name. No, don't do it yet. It's still Pickles, but it's like it answers to Kiki. It's like when you're doing business as. It's like my company name is Top Mark, but I'm doing business as Recovery Addict. So don't change your name. You're good. All right, we'll see you guys after lunch. Have a good one. We'll see you in a bit. Bye.
Because he's the guy.